Back once again, like a bad habit that can't be broken. My name is Brother Legend. Welcome to my live. If you're joining us on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. We gonna be up here. Comment down below. My TikTok is BIGBROLGND, same as my YouTube. You can catch us going live, usually in the evening. Tap the notification bell at the top right of my profile to know when we going live. What up, y'all? What's going on? What up, what up? What's going on? Yo, I seen this video earlier. This girl said, it was a sister, she said something like, the girlies be like, lace wear, but I see the lace. Yo, that got me and my wife dying, bro. That is hilarious. She said, I see the lace, but I see the lace. That's hilarious. Hey, man. Shout out to all the sisters who we can see the lace, man. We love y'all. Shout out to the big forehead bonnet wearing sisters. You know what I'm saying? Big foreheads and bonnets, we love it very much. I had my wife bonnet on the other live. He said, talking that talk. Yeah, I heard you. But what's going on, y'all? Man, I'm late today because I put up a video, and I know that on TikTok you gotta put captions on your videos so that the algorithm kind of like rocks with you. And so I put up the video with the captions, and the captions was big across the whole video. After I done ranted to myself for like 2 hours to make this video, I was tight, man. But I still posted another one because I had to do it as like a response. Yo, if anybody got any questions about Pan-Africanism, Afrocentrism, they want to understand what we talking about, yo, I hate that to you. But y'all want to understand anything that we up here talking about, feel free to join the Discord. The link is in my bio, b1initiative.org. You can join the Discord. I have a section that's dedicated to people that want to ask questions. I'd rather it be questions that people can ask off this app so that, y'all can keep it a little bit more real, be a little bit more candid. So let me ask you. GPT probably come up with some wild questions. I ain't going front. But I like it because I'm really a conversationalist. The way my ego is set up, I kind of have to talk to someone, which is why I do better on lives than videos. You see me doing way more lives than videos because I'm really kind of like a talker. Like I respond to people better than I just talk to myself. Some people like their own voice. I'm not one of them. So, there's that. That's why I was a producer and not an artist when I was in music. I don't like my voice. Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm more like let's bounce ideas because honestly, I be learning a lot through conversation too. I be learning a lot. But yeah, y'all, we gonna answer the questions up above. Are interracial relationships problematic to the community? Is preferring to date a race racist? Can you be pro-black with a non-black spouse? Let's talk about it. Shout out to all the big forehead bonnet wearing, pumpkin pie. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Did I say pumpkin pie? My goodness. Sweet potato pie eating. You know what I'm saying? Greasy fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brothers and the sisters in here. If you never ate a scone in your life, tap like. If you never ate a scone in your life, look how fast people gonna leave because I said scones. Y'all, I know y'all love scones. Y'all pumpkin spice latte drinking ass. You know what I'm saying? They leaving. I don't know, man. Some of y'all like pumpkin spice latte with an extra shot. Gets me going. Gets me going, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, don't refer to yourself as a M Lotto. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on now. That's derogatory to yourself, my friend. Someone said scones are good. Hey man, you say scones are good. I know you ain't got no lips. I know you ain't got no lips. I'll tell you right now. Them dry scones, man. I bit into a scone. I thought it was gonna be like a biscuit. I thought it looked like a sweet biscuit. You bite into that thing, it crumble apart in your mouth. I need some milk. I need some water. I can't do it. I can't do it. That thing crumble apart in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like crumbly cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't do it. Need something, soft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all put potatoes in your. Some of y'all put potatoes in your raisin salad. We don't want that. Some of y'all putting potatoes in your raisin salad. Oh my goodness. We need to stop that. I already know. Some of y'all like medium rare green bean casserole. Casserole. Whatever you call it, casserole. I don't know. I don't eat that. Green bean casserole. Some of y'all wife be making green bean casserole. Y'all be smiling right along. Yeah, they be making raisin salad. I can't do it. I can't do it. Some of y'all wife be making raisin salad with cream cheese in it. Cream cheese, feta cheese, and mozzarella. I don't know what is up with them and cow milk. Somebody answer the questions up above. Give me yes, no's down below. Yes, no's, yes, no. We're going to grade you. We're going to give you A through F. If you get below a C, I don't know. The grading system is kind of different here. F to C means you're an anti-racist. C to A means you're pro-black. So best of luck to y'all. Answer the questions. Give me 3 answers. Someone said it's problematic. Yes. Yes. No. Okay. All right. You get a C. Next person. Yes. Yes. No. Okay. Let me look at your profile. You also get a C. Pro-Asian. Okay. Yes. Depends. Okay. You know what? Tia gets an A. Tia gets an A plus because I know what she means by that. Yes, no, no. No. And you a sister? Wait, hold on. Hold on now. Hold on. Now, I don't know your name, Fia. I don't know what happened. You must have had some raisin salad. We gonna give Fia gotta get I don't know. Fia gotta get a C. Fia get a C. She got the last one right. You anti-racist. Barely. I don't know. You ain't even anti-racist. You get a D now. I just thought about that some more. All right. Yes, yes, no. All right. Black Mystique, you get an A. Liz, I'm sorry, Liz. Wait, hold on. Let's see. No, Liz, you get an F. You get an F. You get a big F. Oh, all right, Fia. Oh, all right. Hey, who want to come up here, man? Somebody come on up. Let's talk. We're over 2K likes. Thank you for tapping like. We're over 2K. I want to have a productive conversation. Anyone is invited up. You're just going to have to show your camera for a few seconds so TikTok doesn't knock you back down. I don't know why it does that. It's not a setting, but TikTok does that. Yes, no, no. Let's see. Someone said yes, no, no. Anyone that says no to the second question gets a big side eye. You're losing points saying this. I need to know why you're saying that. Anyone saying no to this, I gotta know why. Please clarify. Yes, yes, no. Draco, don't start with me today. Don't start with me, Draco. Jay Sween, yes, yes, no. All right. Jay Sween gets an A. Draco playing. I don't know what he up here doing. They'll say no because they don't like it. Yes, if you like and want to keep up the supremacy. Yes. All right. All right. It does depend. The second one does depend. Except, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Y'all are taking it from introspective, intracommunal. You know what I'm saying? So I know what y'all are doing. Y'all are looking at us. Okay, that's good. I should have said it's preferring to date a race outside your race. Racist. That's what I should have did. I date ambiguous, androgynous, poly groups of Satanists. I'm sorry, you getting blocked. I don't know. You evil. Bye. Hey man, I'm blocking y'all weirdos. I'm blocking y'all weirdos. We ain't doing that. He said Satanists. What the hell? We ain't doing that. I don't know what that was. Hey, I'll be honest. If a brother or sister says that they're Satanists, I feel more safe around them than a mayonnaise complected person saying they're Satanists. If they say they're Satanists, I'm not with that. I'm sorry. I can't do it. When they do it, they mean it. You know what I'm saying? When we say that, we just mean we're slowly starting to deconstruct out of Christianity usually, or like Islam. I mean we're trying to like deconstruct away from Abrahamic religions. When they say it, they about to bite the head off of something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no parts, y'all blood drinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm good on that. Ozzy Osbourne ass. We ain't doing that. Yeah, we ain't doing that. Yeah, they going to the gulag. I ain't doing that. I'm not even with, the brothers and sisters that do it, to be honest, but, like Lil Uzi and all them, they just doing it for a gimmick, but they doing it to try to win over the people that pay for them albums more than we do. You know what I'm saying? The people that got nothing else to do but sit around and listen to Uzi. They think it's fun. He's trying to get towards his real fans. Like when Lil Wayne started skateboarding. Remember that? There was a time when Lil Wayne was just known for mixtapes. Like you would get Lil Wayne mixtapes at the barbershop in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Where the people at. Then later on, he started going mainstream. He started to get a brighter audience. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he started skateboarding and trying to do rock and roll. That was interesting. That was interesting times. Lil Wayne did have a rock album. I forgot the name. I think it was Rebirth or something like that. Doing songs with Eminem. He had a song with Eminem on that album. You know who he was trying to get at, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Started dyeing his hair blonde and shit. Like bruh, come on, man. Lil Wayne had his little phase. You know what I'm saying? He's still going through it. I think. I don't know. He looked like a school desk. His face looked like Lil Wayne's face looks like a school desk. In the detention room. Yes and no to the first one. I don't know how you got no from yes. How can something be problematic and not problematic at the same time? You saying it's part of the problem and the solution? I'm confused. Number 2, hell yeah, okay. Yes, if the spouse is down for the cause. No. The answer to the last one is no. Wait, hold on. Do you have Ubuntu in your name? What's your name? Oh, no, it's not Ubuntu. That's something else. Hey, man, to all the African brothers and sisters, what up, man? Shout out to all my continental African family. Evil people with evil intentions are the problem. No, I don't know about that. Lil Wayne, he did. Yeah, he was trying hard. Somebody said his rock album was good. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Nah, man. Yo, any rapper can get it on my live. Um, I seen Dr. Umar just recently take a strong stance against hip hop. I've been doing that on my lives for a minute. As someone that actually made money in the music industry, specifically with hip hop, I know firsthand that it is problematic. But I understand why people think it's not because they're not really in that. Like y'all don't really know. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't like Nirvana, but I like some of their songs. Black people can like rock music. Black people invented rock music. Stop playing with me. We invented all music. Europeans ain't have no music. They don't know what music is. They ain't got no rhythm. They don't got no rhythm today. Stop playing with me. We invented rock music. Look no further than Rosetta Thorpe. That's her name, right? Rosetta Thorpe and what's his name? Lil Richard. Stop playing with me. Rosetta Thorpe and Lil Richard. The king and queen of rock. Stacy, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Peace. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Oh, I'm African American. I'm 45 years old, and it's he, him.
All right, talk to us. Go ahead
Oh,
and answer the questions.
what you say?
Answer the questions for us, huh?
Oh, well, I think the first question is interracial relationships problematic? Absolutely. I don't support interracial marriages or relationships at all. I think it's extremely problematic, and I think it needs to stop. And I think they need to stop promoting it because they've been promoting it on the Cheerio commercial, on all these commercials, and I think it needs to be done. And preferring to date a race, oh yeah, that's real racist. I mean, if you prefer to date someone because of the color of their skin, I mean that's just racist. If you exclude dating someone because of the color of their skin, that's racist. But y'all shouldn't be dating anyway. I mean, y'all shouldn't be dating outside the race anyway. So, I mean, it wouldn't be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be pro-black and not? Oh no, impossible, impossible. I mean, every day you choosing up to look up to a non-black face, you looking in that white face. I mean, you can't be pro-black when you look in a white face every day. So you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Well,
absolutely
I heard
not.
that. All right. Shout out to Unc, man. Unc getting the A. Thank you, Stacy. That's quite a word. I can't even find nothing to disagree with you on. You set the live in motion. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, young man. And I just want to say, what happened to that boy that Jonathan Majors is a god dang shame. And
Yeah.
he wouldn't have had it had he left that little white hussy alone. And he went back to where you see
Mm-hmm.
what he went now. You see
Mm-hmm.
what he went now.
Yeah, he's trying to come back.
Right, right.
He
But
came
yeah,
running back.
yeah. I mean, these little black boys now they run around with these white girls and all that. Uh, they they need to stop it. They need to stop it.
Hmm.
But that's all I got to say. And I appreciate you bringing me up.
Yes, sir. One love. That's what's up. Okay, he ain't come up here to play. I forgot we did this to the thing. That's interesting. Anybody want to come up, feel free. He definitely did say boys, but I feel like we could let that slide because you know Jonathan Majors was acting like a boy. How you going to look this in the face talking about Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama? Oh my goodness, it be us, brothers. Brothers, it be us, man. It be us, man. How you gonna look this in the? How you gonna look a cream, uh, uh, a feta cheese bagel in the face, talking about some Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama? That's the craziest thing I ever heard. Why do y'all try to do this? Why do you try to be pro-black with a non-black spouse? This is what we be saying. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let it rock. Just be anti-racist. What's the point of trying to make her into a black woman? Appreciate you, Cron. What's the point of making her into a sister when, you know what I'm saying, you know damn well you want that lily white, you know what I'm saying, unseasoned, raw Wonder Bread. You know what I'm saying? That's what you like. Go ahead. Have that. Why are you trying to, oh, now you want to try to make her a sister. You may as well just got you a sister then. What you doing? That's what Kanye trying to do. Nah, that's not what he trying to do with his new wife. That's what he was doing with Kim. His new wife, I don't know what he on. Yo, man. If anybody, don't come on my live if you a Kanye fan. I was a Kanye fan for a long time, so it hurts me to say that too. You know, it hurts my inner teenager. But we gotta keep it real, y'all. We need to let Kanye go. We need to let that boy go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all want to call it. You need to let that young boy go. He ain't one of us. I don't know what he is. He ain't one of us. Uh-uh. Nah, that man disrespected your ancestors. That man disrespected your ancestors. That's I can't do that. I can't do that. Yeah, he is mentally ill. So are a lot of them barracoons. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are mentally ill. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Mead is mentally ill. But they need to do I can't claim him. Y'all go ahead, y'all want Kanye. I'm good. And what he doing with this um you know what I'm saying? This frosted female that he got, it's kind of weird. I was doing a video and I wanted to post a picture of him and his quote unquote wife, and I couldn't find a picture of her with clothes on. I couldn't find one picture with her with clothes on. I hope TikTok don't take my video down. I was just trying to put the picture up with this man and his wife. That was crazy. I don't even love his music no more. I don't even love his music no more. Note that all hip hop music comes from the raccoons. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
But
now go wild.
um,
What up?
hey, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Uh, Pretty much African American. 31 years old. Been with Asian woman for 8 years, going on 9.
All right. Why you
Got
say
two.
pretty much?
Uh, uh, it's hard. It's hard for most people to understand. Like I come from old school background, so like when you say like 8 years, close to 9, pretty much is like, you going faithfully strong in something. But you know, I'd like to say something just mostly from my point of view is like, a lot of guys, African American guys like myself that came from like places like Chicago, the trenches, every city got a hood, all that stuff. Most people don't really think about when they get an opportunity to date somebody out of their race, they ain't really thinking about what they doing at all affecting the black community. Because a lot of black community people in the black community don't really care like at all until later down the line you got kids or something. Because that's what I've seen. Like I've seen black women call me weak and all that stuff for not being with a black woman, but I've been with plenty of black women, and the thing is, like, you know, life get old when you deal with the same thing. Somebody got a baby mama or a baby daddy, got to deal with harsh environment of somebody that's never trying to change their lifestyle, or never trying to be woke to black positive uh like alpha male that literally just want to get his money, do the right things, maybe just like travel and stuff. All like sometimes like I've seen it where brothers literally go from being with a sister, dealing with those same problems, but then when they switch to I ain't gonna say like a white chick or anything, but let's say a Mexican chick or something like that. They dealing with a whole different lifestyle, not even the same problems at all. And that's mostly what I'd like to say because a lot of people say, "Oh, a black man weak because he don't want to be with a black woman." No, maybe you have a different taste. I've always loved Asian women since I was a little boy, so like
What do you love about them?
everything, hospitality, uh like teamwork. It ain't just, oh, they come with all this sexual stuff, because that's last on the table. This is one of the best things, but like to really find a down woman in these communities and stuff like that, for an Asian woman and stuff like that, a great leader to watch over my kids.
All right,
And
so let me get this straight. All right, so let me get this straight. Asian woman watch over your kids. She has better sex. You said
we
what
don't
else did you say?
we like
You don't argue a lot.
we like, dude, we argue just as much as a black woman and stuff like that, but it's about
Okay, all right.
but it ain't about the same things, because she really tries to get to know the black community and understand how we think, how we
Why does
move,
that matter?
and
Why is that a positive? If you cared about that, you'd be with a black woman. So don't bring that up.
see, no,
And then,
see, that's the thing is, just
all right,
because
but
the
hold on, because you said all these positive things about the Asian woman, right? But
yep,
then when you talked about the black women, all you brought up was they have baby dads,
no,
they
no,
don't want
see,
to
like, see,
travel.
like, like
That I'm just
that's the
going based
thing,
off literally what you just said. You just
positive,
said nothing
but
but
yeah,
negative
but
shit
that's the
about
thing
black
is,
women, but you brought up a whole bunch of positive shit
yeah,
about Asian women.
because
Ain't
like
that
this,
typical?
but I ain't like this. No one speaks about the black positive female that works a business, head of her household, do whatever
No,
she
you
can.
don't talk about that because
No, no,
we
I
ain't
have, because I
don't
have
try to
a
put it
lot of
on everybody
sisters.
else because bro, we asked you these
I'm not
questions
trying to
right
put
here.
nobody
You
down.
came up here
I'm just trying to
monologuing
put my
about how
statement
black
on.
women got baby dads, and this is the reason why you didn't choose one. And now you're bringing up all this positive stuff, associating positive behaviors to your wife's racial group is really weird and fetishy in the first place because I'm pretty sure there's baby mamas and a bunch of bad actors in the Asian community too. But okay, let's say you're saying that they're not. You brought up a bunch of negative stereotypes about black women, and
Bro,
for
you could
some
look up
reason,
the stats on it. That if you look up black progressive women in America, a lot of them come from men that don't want to step up to the plate. And the dudes
like
that
yourself,
don't want these women, the dudes that don't want these women that
like
are black
yourself,
men, don't want
like
to.
yourself,
Oh, I got a
like
career,
yourself.
everything. But the thing is,
No,
for
no, but
myself,
you ain't with a black woman, so you ain't step up to the plate for your
I
community
don't chase,
either.
I don't, that's the thing. I don't chase the same thrill that everybody else is chasing. What's the same thing
Oh,
when
so
you
you
don't learn
different. Oh,
nothing
so
new?
you different. Oh, okay, so you a different type of. Oh, okay. He the new
Do you
black,
got
y'all.
culture? Do you got culture, my brother? Do you got culture? Do you know
I
your history?
I
Do
don't have
you
to.
have any type of,
I know I'm African American. I don't have to come up here and say kind of, sort
that's
of,
everybody,
maybe.
but other
I'm
than the
pretty
slang
much
bullshit that
African
everybody
American.
throw around. But the thing is, when you come up into a community of people that literally just want to see you do good and not be like, okay, I
Shout
see
out to the
another black
black
woman.
community. They want to see you do good so well. That's why they in here tapping like.
If a black
That's why
woman
they be
see
supporting
me
my
with,
platform. Hey yo, I'm at 40,000 followers because of y'all, man. Shout out to the black community. They want to see you do so well. They join in my Discord. We be having
that's good.
conversations, man. We building apps. We connecting with African people on the continent. We donating
So
to the
have you been
Congo.
to Africa?
Hey man, shout out to the black community. They want me to do so well. Look at my brother Draco sending in the gifts. He been coming on my page, been in the Discord for months now. I think it's been over 6 months now. Like we've been working. Like I don't know what you talking about.
It's good to support your own community. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. It's just
But
y'all
you try to
motherfuckers.
act like we don't do it, and we do.
No, no, I never said that. It's just some people act like just because you want a certain thing, you a weaker black man, or you just putting women down, a certain race of women down. It's not even that. You
You just
can't
did
have your
that, but you
own
just did that
taste and
though.
shit.
You said nothing positive about black women when you came up here. You started talking about the reason you
What did
preferred
I,
your
what?
Asian woman
I didn't
was
say
because
anything
black
negative.
women
I
have
didn't say to
their baby
yell or
mamas.
anything like that. I'm
You
just
just said
saying.
you said nothing positive about black women. No one even asked you about black women. That's the crazy thing. Is none of these problems. No one even asked you about black women. No one even asked you who you was with. How about
I'm just
that?
putting
You
that
came
out
up here
there. I'm just
tokenizing your
putting that out
Asian
there
wife.
because
No one even asked you that. You came up here talking
man,
positive about a community that you do not belong to, and then talk
okay,
down
but
about the
yeah,
people in
when
your
you think
community.
about it, the
So
black
guess what?
community,
You
the
belong to
black
them
community
now.
is the most shattered community. Y'all act like
See, here
just
goes some more
because
negative stuff about
you
black
got
people. What
one
else you got?
righteous
Show
dude
us
that
all your
want to put
anti-blackness,
on the
bro.
red, green, and black and just my brother this and that and eat bean pies, you act like you the most blackest character out there. You probably don't even be with a black woman or speak to black women. You probably with white women all the time. So don't act like just because you help the black community with a few jobs here and there, it don't
Hey
make
yo,
you
the
Malcolm
projection
X.
is crazy, ain't it? It's crazy. Cause everybody that's been here for a while know I'm married to a black woman. Shout out to the sisters, yo. Hey yo,
Good
the
for you.
projection is
Applaud
crazy. He said,
yourself. I'm
hey,
glad
I
to
haven't
see
seen a
more
white
black
woman in
people
person
out
in
there
like
together.
a
How
minute,
long have
bro.
y'all been together? How long have y'all stayed married? And keep it that way. That's all.
There you going. All right. Thank y'all for the Panther pause. Shout out to Free Myself and I. Thank you for the Panther. Yeah, he was self-hating and projecting. That was interesting. Not really. It was typical. But self-hating and projecting. Oh my goodness. He tried to say I'll be around. Who? Hey yo, honestly, and that's the funny thing. Even if I was around faucet females, um, my wife would not give a damn because she know I ain't gonna do nothing with. You know what I'm saying? My wife ain't worried about none of y'all, and my wife ain't even worried about sisters. To be honest, my wife don't got no kind of. My wife know my body. She know how I move. She know what my focus is. That's the thing. That's why we been locked in. I know my wife for 15 years. We've been dating. We started dating 5 years ago, but I've known her since she was 18. You know what I'm saying? That's my wife. I know her for a long time. We've been through ups and downs. We've been through enough for us to trust each other. We know who each other is. So yeah, we don't have them problems. All right, y'all. We're gonna go to the next guest. The next guest dropped down. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, there they go. Hold on. Keep tapping like, y'all. Keep tapping like. We're trying to get to 20K. We're trying to get to 20K. I'm not gonna be up here a long time. I'll be up here a good time though. Kay, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Hey, what's up, brother? My age is
Oh, snap. I didn't mean
24.
you. I meant the other
Oh,
Kay.
my
But
bad. Oh,
no, you
wow.
go ahead.
Oh,
The other
wow.
Kay
They
dropped.
left again?
Yeah, they left
I think
again.
is it just because it keeps dropping people because of the thing, though?
Probably. Go ahead,
Oh.
sister.
Well, I better say y'all know me. Age is 24. Race is black biracial. Pronouns are she, her. And I don't know. I didn't even say nothing because bro was just digging his own grave. I didn't even give him no rope. He was just
Yeah.
automatically on that tree. I was like, damn, baby. It just was everything was like paradoxical to the reality we live in. I was like, babe, you don't know
Yeah.
your history of Asian Americans. Didn't they just get rid of affirmative action for us?
It
So
sure
talk
did.
about supporting your community. Wow. Okay. But he thought black women did that. I just,
That's
dang, I
crazy.
feel for that brother. He lost. I
Yeah.
hate to see when his back get against the wall with them folks, cause man, he gonna have a rude awakening, boy.
And then
That
he gonna
was
say owning a business is what makes a woman strong, like a black woman. And it's funny because when Asian women own businesses, they're usually taking money out of our communities. So if that's a trait that you value in a woman, that's outside of your community, then you have fetishized literally people robbing our community of our wealth, which is wild.
all the time. And then the reality that if you travel to the origins of these people's land, they don't want you there. Not at
Oh,
all. Like,
at all.
baby,
At
you
all.
can't. step foot in this door. We don't even care. And it's sad because I'm not saying that they don't like other groups either, but they like them just a little bit less than us. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're the on the D list. Like, if they was on B and C, we're at the bottom. So it's just sad that he came up here and said that. None of the prompts say anything like that. Like he could have just said why he loves Asian women. He didn't have to go into why we're terrible. I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
we can't get a break. I
He
just
didn't
like
have to
I
say that
yeah.
either because
Yeah,
nobody
go ahead.
asked him about his spouse. He just offered that up freely, like he wanted to brag. I just came up because I wanted to ask the man if he was married, because it was sounding like he wasn't married, and like him trying to brag on that, talking about we've been together 8, 9 years. Like if you was married, you'd have been like, we've been married for X amount of years. So she's so
Mm-hmm.
great and so amazing, but yet you ain't married her though. And I just wonder if them kids running around in the background is theirs. Like, and then
Mm-hmm.
the man had the nerve to say y'all. He disassociated himself from black people. I'm like, who
Yeah.
is y'all? That's probably why he was like, I'm pretty much African American. What that mean, my guy? Either you is or you ain't. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
hello?
Yeah, there's
Mm-hmm.
no such thing as being pretty much who you are.
Right.
Yeah, you caught that too, Timothy, when he first came up here. He talking about pretty much African American.
And unfortunately, I missed that part, but I'm sure that it was a sight to see.
He literally said that. I thought you was up here. He literally said
Yeah,
pretty much African
Yeah,
that's
he
why
American.
I had to
did.
pop up here because I'm like, what is going on? What am I missing here?
Nah, like that's what I said. I ain't even had to speak. Brother handled him perfectly. You can't speak to a black man like that. When they're like that, it's not even me opening my mouth. He think I'm less than. He immediately started saying
Mm.
it, and I didn't even speak to him yet. We not even in the
Right.
prompt. I was like, so
Yeah.
it's I can't even speak to him. He already pedantic. He don't even know what he talking about. So let me just let them go ahead. Thank you. Shout out to the live. They donated them pause quick, real quick,
Word.
real
I wanted
quick.
him to keep
Word.
talking. I wanted to hear what the what the man had to say.
For real.
Because it just
He
kept getting worse and worse.
he felt attacked by those prompts. Like when
You
you
know,
said they're problematic, he was all over that. He was like, "Oh, how dare he say something about this lady that I'm with and don't even want to marry, but still say that she's better in her community with her folks? How dare he?"
he was like, it feels
How
so
dare
good
you
to
make
be a
perfect
part.
sense?
It feels so good to have a community that supports you.
Appreciate you, me,
How
myself, and I.
dare you actually
Right.
implement logic into your life? Like, how dare you educate yourself? Like,
Crazy.
Where the
Yeah.
hell Kay? Who is Kay? I hear her voice. Where's she at?
Hey, I'm
You
right
here?
here.
Yeah, you look like you got that little coffee mug. Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't see you either. Not your name or nothing. Oh, now
There
you
you
back.
go. There you go. Appreciate you, me, myself, and I.
Can you bring them back up here so we could just make them cry? It's really amusing to me to get them riled up. And
Yeah, he going. You
calm
got
down
that.
and control your emotions, and that just brings them. Oh my god, over the edge.
Yeah, he going. He going. Well, do you want to answer the questions, Londi? Put us back on track.
Yes. Okay. So are interracial relationships problematic? I don't think so. I'm actually in an interracial relationship right now, and it's not because like, oh my god, I don't like my black man. No, I like who liked me, but I never stopped loving my black man. Like it is what it is. Like I can't help who I fell in love with. It is what it is. But I'm not dating him to spite or put down or like bury well, I didn't marry him for that. Like I did it because I like loved him and he loves me and I love how he loves our children and I love how I can be free and be myself. So that's why I'm with him. But I never like, oh well, all black men is this and all black men is that because I got him. Like that would be stupid to me. That would be
Why
like,
can't you? Why can't you help who you love?
what do you mean? Why can't you help who you love? You can't. You can tell me.
Well,
did
I mean, I have one less baby daddy. Tell me how you can help.
hold on. You might be
dang,
getting
that's the
confused.
thing.
Lust is not love, and also, didn't you choose to go on several dates with that man to get to know him? I mean,
Yes.
or were you automatically in love when you first seen him though?
No,
Because
when I
I
first
mean,
see him,
That's
I'm
what
like,
happens.
oh my
so
god,
you
he's interesting.
you
You can't
chose to
fall
go
in
on
love.
dates, right?
Yes, I did choose to go on dates. So I went on many dates with many people.
You can't fall in love on first sight, interracially, because as a black person, you might approach someone you think you fell in love with, and they call you the N word, say, "Get away from me." You never know who's racist.
Yeah, you don't know
Um,
who,
so
but
so so you have to groom them. You have to figure out what's up. But I say
what
why
happened
you can't.
on our first date? Because he has tattoos everywhere. We tried to go to a club, and they wouldn't let him in a club because of his tattoos. So we went across the street to a strip club where we could sit down and chill. And from that date, from that we went to a strip club, female strip club. We had like the best conversation ever. It was no like watching the strippers or anything. Like we connected right then and there in the most unlikely places. Period.
Wait a minute, Mama. You said y'all date was at the strip club, and that was your first
That was
date.
our first date. I had
That
met
was your
him.
first date? You're already objectifying women on the first date? Not to say that that's what a strip club does, but that's literally what they
That is what
do.
they do.
Hey, that's what.
Hold
Hey,
on.
hey, that's the club he could
What?
get in at the time. Like it was like I had met him seven
Any
years
man that takes a
prior.
woman to a strip club on a first date is
I took
not.
him. What do you mean? I took him to the strip club. What are you talking about? He wasn't from here. He lived 3 hours away
Yeah.
from me. I took
But
him.
also, the race of this man, I'm sure, the community he's a part of, do they um, do they have a lot of respect for people with tattoos?
He what do you mean a lot of respect for people? He has tattoos, so I don't know.
Right, right. But the community that they come from, whether it's white, Asian, whatever, usually look at tattoos as taboo, unprofessional. In certain Asian countries, you have to hide your tattoos.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
I don't think
a lot
anybody
of the
from this
times,
culture
a
or where
lot
he
of the
came from.
times, the non-black people that black people end up with are those that are seen as less worthy or rejected in the communities that they come from. A lot of times, non-melanated people get these tattoos because they like the idea of their skin producing pigment, and that's why they also tend to like to be with black folks too, because having a child of color makes them feel like they contributed to having that pigment
Oh,
manifest. But
yeah. He had a vasectomy. We ain't having no kids, and he was married to his wife for prior to me for 20 years. He's done. His kids are grown.
does
They
his
moved.
wife did his wife look like you?
No, absolute
All right.
opposite of me.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
But it's
also
not like it's not because it wasn't a
rejection
preference or
territory.
anything. It was a
But
connection.
but here's my thing, right?
Uh huh.
Is is preferring to date a race racist? Preferring to date outside your race, rather. Like, is that racist?
Preferring to date outside your race?
Yes. Is this a person that preferred to date a black woman?
No.
Hmm. Okay. And um, do you consider yourself pro-black?
Yes.
All right. Tell me how.
What do you mean how? Because I live in the same house I grew up in Section 8 and bought that house and the surrounding houses behind around me. And they weren't in at that time the greatest neighborhood. And I'm like working hard to build up this neighborhood that he moved in with me too and moved his children down here to make it a better place.
So gentrifying the neighborhood makes you pro-black.
How many gentrifying the neighborhood? Building up the neighborhood makes me
All right.
pro.
So building up so you kept the prices of the rent the same.
Or the same rent that they pay.
All right. And so does Bill Gates buying a project building make him pro-black?
What do you mean a Bill Gates buying a project? What is he doing for profit? What is his motives? Is he doing it for profit or he's doing it to make it better? Is he doing
I
it?
believe
Is he
I
doing it to
believe
keep
I
the
believe
rents the same?
impact. I believe impact over intent matters. Saying
Impact over
intention,
it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
So, because
saying
I know Jay
intention.
Z and like Jay Z and I know like Ti just opened up a new suburb in his old neighborhood. Does that make him less pro black or not pro black? Because Ti just
Well,
did what you just said that
they're
right.
That has
they're
nothing to do
both
with him
married to
being
black
pro-black.
women, though.
Okay, I'm not asking. I'm not. I didn't say that. And Bill Gates is not married to it, but he's saying he's giving an example of what Bill Gates doing that what Ti's already done.
Um, Bringing up black people doesn't change anything because everything a black person does isn't pro-black either. I ate a sandwich today for lunch. Does that make me pro-black?
I'm eating grapes right now. Does that make me pro-black? I don't know.
I would say it actually doesn't because you have a non-black spouse.
So that's my fault because I have a non-black spouse.
Yeah, it is because you think that love is something that you can't control. And that's problematic right there, right? Because that shows low impulse control, and it also
And
shows
then,
that
like, but
it also shows that you've internalized the Eurocentric idea of love that comes from Jean-Jacques Rousseau of the 18th century, who coined the phrase romance and romanticism. If you want to look up the romantic period, the idea of love that we've been told all our lives was created less than 200, well, around 200 years ago. And it's not always been the definition of love, and marrying for love is even newer than that. So
because
it
basically
so
moved married for power.
people were able to control their love at one point and not just marry the first person they get tingly feelings for. So
Hmm.
that lets me know that it can be controlled. And also an African form of love that existed way before romance, right? Romance, it's in the name Roman. Rome is where? Europe. Anyway, before romance, we had Ubuntu. That was one of the definitions of love for the Bantu people, but also across the African diaspora and the continent before colonization, there was a communal form of love. Every definition of love involved the community and doing things for the community. Pro-blackness is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building the black community. And so you can't do that with a non-black spouse
Wow. So
because
like Drew Holiday couldn't like he did a lot of good things for the city I'm in, and his spouse he met in college, fell in love with, is not the same color as him. Everything
all
that
right.
he did was in vain,
So
like in vain,
so
or
tell me
what?
this. So tell me this. I don't know what you're talking about, but tell me
You
this.
don't know who Drew
If
Holiday is?
no,
He.
but
You know who Giannis is?
this is not something that
I'm asking you because I'm like,
no, well, I mean, you're asking me about anecdotes. I don't know who these people are, but this is not something that's like I'm just coming up with off the top of my head. Like there's books on this. There's scholars that talk about this. This is like a whole thing. I'm not sure if you know what you walked into, but um, with your non-black spouse, right? Let's say you do a business and you do good business in the neighborhood, da 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 da, and
mhm.
then something tragic were to happen to you. Who takes over the business?
I run the business now, so
So who takes over when it's over? When something happens?
my children,
What if your children are too young?
they're not.
But even then, um, you're telling me that your spouse would have no control over the business whatsoever.
What do you mean?
Your children don't listen to dad.
They're one. They're one. He is their father. Her my
All right, so he's their father, right?
hmm.
So your children just disregard his every opinion.
No, they don't disregard. Why would I don't understand how
Okay.
to line of questioning.
Well, what I'm saying is you're making the father of your pro-black business a white man.
Okay.
You don't see how
Do
that's
you think? I
problematic?
mean, I don't. I actually don't see anything wrong. I feel like I found somebody who loves me for me. I didn't have to change who I was or change any of my ideologies. His family loves me. My family loves him. I don't see a problem, and I'm sorry.
This
Yeah,
is
So
this is the
yeah,
thing, brother.
it was
She's
a
with a YT
mhm.
man that has dreads in his head.
It was my page.
Oh
And
my
it's
goodness.
always interesting how people like you're not pro black. You just love being black and you're good at being black. That's awesome. But it's this idea of needing to be like pro-black that's really weird when people choose someone outside of themselves, when the foundation of any relationship normally pairs two families together. So that key aspect that you said, his family love you, you love his family, that would be an awesome pair of pro-blackness if it was two pro-black families coming together, two black families. But you're just a black person that loves being black, and that's amazing. And you found somebody that you love. Congratulations.
And see, Queen, the thing is that historically, when you look at different African city groups and towns and civilizations, during the time periods in which they would colonize Africa, they would use interracial relationships as a method of infiltrating African economics. And there is actually on record many colonizers that took noble African wives. And from there, they would then send their interracial children, their black children, but, black children with a white parent, to Europe for education. And then once they came back, those children would then take over the what essentially would have been the responsibilities of that African woman's offspring. And the issue with that is that if you are not consciously black, if you're not thinking primarily black, which is the purpose of them sending their children away to Europe to be educated, then when they come back, they're not thinking in the best interests of African people. They're thinking in the best interests of their colonizers, their father, the environment that they were educated in. They're thinking in the best interests of them. And
And
it's
capitalism.
shown, yep, and capitalism. So it's shown that very clearly that you can't really have a dynamic where you have a white person who is actually operating in the best interests of black people, because historically they have not shown to really ever want or ever even getting close to doing that. In very small cases, have you seen that? Sure, you can name one or two examples, but at the same time, in the vast majority of cases, that just doesn't happen.
I would argue that you're not even seeing it in the smallest of cases, because
Yeah, I'm about to say that. Yeah, go ahead, T.
doing things that are beneficial to a person or a group of people is not the same as prioritizing a group of people. And I think that's where the mix up is sometimes. It would be counterintuitive or against one's own survival, even if you're talking about yourself individually or your particular community, to prioritize a community other than your own. And where in history can we ever name a YT person or a group of YT people who put the survival and the progress of black people above their own? Never. So why would you expect someone you partner with to do that? The way I think about it is breaking it down into fundamentals. The fundamental part of a community is its people. And if you are creating people that don't fit into that box, so to speak, of that community, then you are actively working against the building and the progress of that community. And the freest choice, the way I think about relationships is, it is the one thing that people in general terms do not have control over. It is the one thing that costs you no money. You have the most control in your life over who you partner with and who you procreate with. So when people come up with this excuse of oh, I fell in love and blah, 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 it is dismissing accountability for your own choices. You chose to go on a date. You chose to get married. You chose to sleep with this person. You chose to create a child. There are a pattern of choices that led to where you are and how you became attached to a person. To act as if that happened to you, as opposed to you being an arbiter of your own life, is disingenuous. Life didn't happen to you. That's a very passive aggressive stance to take. And it is the very antithesis of being pro anything, much less being pro black. And I really resent when people do that. Own your choice and stand in it. If you want to date somebody else who's outside of your community, that's fine. But you need to understand what comes along with that. You need to understand that person is not they might prioritize you singularly singularly as an individual, but they are never going to prioritize the wealth and the progress of your community above you. And that is the difference between like dating intracommunally and intercommunally, because when they tokenize you and say, well, I have a black wife and I have a black son or daughter or whatever else, they love you, maybe they love your son or daughter, maybe they don't love the people that look like you. And that's the difference. When we out and about and we see things that happen to people that we don't know from a can of paint, but they look like us, there's a solidarity between us as black people, because we know the only difference between me as the person who's observing an act and the person who's in the act is just the difference of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even the right place at the right time. And it could have been me. It could have been my brother. It could have been my father. It could have been my sister. It could have been my mother. And if only somebody gave a damn enough about me and saw the humanity in me to stop and record, or stop and call somebody, or stop and intervene. That's the difference. Like y'all gotta this insistence on wanting to be pro something when y'all don't want to put in the sweat equity is fucking weird. It's weird. You ain't losing nothing by not being pro black. You got to put in some elbow grease, some sweat equity. You got to bend your back a little bit to be pro black. And if you're not willing to do that, that's fine. I'ma still love you like a brother. I'ma still love you like a sister, but I'ma know that your mind ain't in the same place mine in, and that's okay.
And claps.
I'm not gonna I felt every word of that. And I have no words for that.
Could I say something too? Since everybody, let me comment on it too. I wanted to say that I felt like all of your answers, I just feel like it's just a miseducation, because each one of the answers, I feel like you kind of answered it the opposite of what it should be. Because
What's the opposite?
you said our interracial relationships problematic to the black community, and there are several examples of how they could be problematic on the board
How
right
they,
now.
but not like
I
all.
mean, we look at several brothers up there already in litigation with their empires being taken over right now. So
I
that
know.
is damaging.
So you
If
think
you,
like I don't see Eve up there. I don't see.
I mean, but
I
that's
don't see
these are
Marilyn
Eve is
Monroe. I don't
examples.
see
problematic as
Hobson's up there.
hell.
That's what I'm saying.
That
These
don't
are
change
still
nothing.
examples.
Hasn't done the research of the black woman in Austin, Texas, like 2 months ago that was unalive by her white tea spouse, free. She doesn't look at the Bumble black lady, beautiful young girl, went out on a date. She was SA'd on the date, and her family came and found her body in there. Guess what? That white tea man, free. We can name several different cases that happened in 2023 where black women that were dating outside their race were unallowed, and the person that is YT got to walk away.
And I can name
Just because you
situations
don't
where
see them
She
up
don't.
there.
you can do that on the reverse too.
But
With
you
the
don't
same,
look at. But you don't look at how the average prostitute age is 12 years old and most likely a black little girl. And the number one buyer, the number one person that buys those, that type of work illegally from little girls is white tea men since the beginning of America. And
that
you
too.
don't look at,
I
I
do
don't
look
know,
at
two,
that, but
three
then I look
hundred
at things like the
years of
passport
them
bros.
R-wording your ancestors. You don't look at none of that, right? So only making it legal with Loving versus Virginia in the 50s because a whitey man wanted to legally marry a black woman. That's the only reason they changed it. We didn't march up and down the streets and said we wanted to be able to marry them. They kidnapped our ancestors, brought us here, made us have babies with them, and then decided, you know what? We're going to let you into the power structure. Now, you sitting here talking about how you using their power structure and how that makes you pro-black. Owning property for your own profit, for benefit, for that, so
Oh,
that
being a
you and
renter
your whitey
forever? I
man
don't
can
understand the
tell you be
logic.
happy does
Should
not
I
make you
rent
pro-black.
forever so I could be more pro black? I don't
Capitalism,
understand your logic.
capitalism
I
is when
should
you
own
prioritize
anything
your
because
wealth
that's
over
not
your
pro black.
community.
I'm not
You
supposed to
cannot
build
Him
my.
do
ain't gonna
both.
help. But talking over him ain't gonna help you.
Okay.
But hold on, before you go, I heard what you said. You said something about the passport bros, and that was in reference to black men. And the joke's on you because the original passport bros were white men.
Yeah, but
Go wake that up.
the ones that went viral are black. The ones that are talking down
Nah,
about
the ones
The
that went
ones that
viral
have
was
been
Christopher
sex
Columbus. The
traffickers,
ones that
the
went
ones that have
viral was
been raping little girls and going to the Philippines and all across the diaspora are YT men. The ones that have the biggest the biggest record of grape are YT men. So when you say something like that, you targeting black men on the cool, on the sly,
I'm not
but
talking
you're
about
not
men.
slick
I said that.
because the real grapists are your men, the men that you attracted to.
there's no
Okay,
such
so
thing as
you know what?
consensual. There's no such
Let's
thing
just
as
pause that right
consensual
there.
lovemaking when you
Huh?
pay a 12-year-old black girl. There ain't no such thing, and they do it more than anyone else. So that's it right there. Black men not doing that. We not doing that. That's not
Here
us.
you go, because I'm not gonna let you bash like everything is perfect on both
Go
sides,
ahead,
and it's
defend it.
not.
No. Go ahead, defend Massa. Go ahead. We
I'm
know
not gonna
you
defend.
love
Oh,
him. It's all
wow,
right. Go ahead,
wow.
defend
I
him. Go
mean,
ahead,
it's
defend
just
him.
weird. You
That's what you're
Lundy, like
doing.
you didn't even understand. I was just trying to make my point that you're being very duplicitous and facetious because you won't even admit, even though there are several examples, the answer to the first question would be yes. And you can't even admit it.
I can't
I didn't
admit
even have to
because
go
I'm like,
deeper. Like
because it could be like Tina and Ike. That was a problematic
we
couple
just
to the
gave you, but we not on
our
Tina and
situation.
Ike.
We
That's a product of anti-blackness and YT ideology. Why our men are like that? They're under the YT patriarchy. We didn't create this system, ma'am. Stop putting it on us. We didn't create the system of race. We didn't make racism. Did we make that? No, I don't even think we made domestic violence. Like we didn't even make that, but yet here we are.
To
Here
your
we are with
original
Jeffrey Dahmer.
your
Here we are
original
with
point,
Ted Bundy.
Ike and Tina aren't in interracial relationships, so
I'm
there's
not
no
saying
reason to
that. I'm
bring that
saying
up.
like relationships that are detrimental to
She
the
trying
black.
to say
But
black
that's
Get
men
it?
not
do
She
it too.
targeted black men,
I,
yeah,
and I
but
peeped
that's
it when
not
she
if
said
you
it
true.
the
feel
first time.
if you feel that way, I
It
apologize.
ain't a
I'm just
feel.
saying it doesn't like
You
to me.
brought up
It doesn't
passport
matter whether
bros.
like
You
there
can
is.
yell all you want. I ain't gonna yell with
But
you. You
that's a
brought up
straw man
passport
argument.
bros to weaponize that against black men. And the funniest thing about it is you obviously have an issue with black men because you said a few things. You said, well, the passport bros. But before that, you said, well, I chose who would accept me, who wanted me. As if referencing you were on the outs of black men's options or choices. So
Okay.
it's always a dynamic where if someone feels like they're gonna go where they're getting loved or where they're being accepted, BS. But a lot of y'all will accept the same YT men, like I tell a lot of brothers, y'all get the bottom of the barrel. Ain't no decent YT woman looking for no white man with locks
I
or
know.
dreads in his head. Like, let me shut up.
They not checking for him, but that's a whole nother thing.
You sound just like that man who just came up before you, but the inverse, and like you're trying to do it covertly, but we still
I'm
y'all on
not.
the same mindset. He's talked about black women in the same way you're trying to covertly and implicate black men in the faults of why you picked this YT man. You don't have to use an excuse. You
We
don't, just like T said, you don't have
we
to
had a
use an
connection.
excuse. Just do what you want to do, sis. You can be anti-racist, but from the sounds of it, y'all ain't even doing that because what you were saying is nonsense. I'm like, girl,
Not what I'm saying with a nonsense. Every other
yeah,
man
it is.
I come
That
up with
man you with is a passport, bro.
huh?
That man you with is a passport, bro. The reason passport pros go across seas is because they feel like their passport give them power over people in other countries,
And
with less
if I
developed.
go to
And
if
so
I
he
swipe
know
up,
your man knows when he got with you that he had power over you, and you
okay.
just don't want to believe that. But it's all right.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: if I swipe up right now and go to a different panel, it's going to be a panel of black men telling me that I'm not good enough. Not just me because I have more than one body.
What
Or
did I tell y'all?
listen, no, I'm just saying if I
Black
swipe
men
up,
don't got nothing to do with the reason why you with that man.
no,
And
but
Queen,
like some of the
listen,
beliefs, like
the
what I'm
Black men
problem.
don't
doing
got
now.
nothing to do. Black men do not
If
all
you
believe
slept with
one
two
thing.
men, I got told yesterday. I listened to a live yesterday that if you have more than two
Okay.
bodies, you're not desirable.
And who told them that? Who
Yeah,
taught them that?
What's his name? King Wana?
Yeah, but whose culture is that from? Europeans or Africans? Who did that first? Who
That's a good
cared?
question. You
Who?
know what? I
The
don't know that.
patriarchy, ma'am. The
Right.
patriarchy is telling
I
them
don't know
that.
the
But
answer to that
like,
question. If that's the
yeah.
patriarchy, then like it's wrong,
Queen,
and I
it
fully agree with you.
originates the
So who do you
patriarchy,
think
like
is that?
but like, why
white
does
Because
that?
male
because what
patriarchy
he said
originates.
that he said that, and then he said that he told a young lady who was 20 years old she was a virgin, And he said, "What makes you think you deserve to have one man to yourself?"
So
Well,
you
the problem is that
the
you're talking
reason you
about.
don't
No, it's
like,
not about reason. It's
so
like the reasoning
you
to come
don't
to.
like black men that act white, but you
Hold
like
on,
a
hold
white
on.
man that act black. That's what you saying? So you prefer a white man that act black instead of just getting a black
I
man
didn't
that's
say
pro
that's
black.
right.
You
They
would
said
rather get with a
because
white man with
you have
locks,
many
but
results.
you blame the reason that you with him is because there's black men that act like they white on the inside, and you don't like that they say things that white men done taught them and said for hundreds of years. White men been saying the same shit, but when a black man say it, then that's the reason you don't like black men. But you do like when a white man got
I've
locks and
never heard
tattoos.
of, I
That's
never
what you
heard
like,
of
and you
this
like to take him to the
ideology.
strip club so he
Oh,
can
I don't.
objectify black women. Was there black women in this strip club? I bet you there was. You take him to go objectify black women so that he can feel like he got one of them that he can control, dominate, and objectify. That's a shame.
But
Okay,
the
can
thing
can
is,
I say
she
something?
wouldn't even be able to get a pro black man. A pro black man would not give
I
her the
would.
time of day.
Yeah,
Like,
can I speak up?
not talking like that, not thinking like
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, see, Queen, the
Well,
problem is that the
Right.
average African American has between
No,
17.5 European DNA due to the grape of women of African ancestry. Well, it's 17.5 up to 24% European DNA due to the grape of women of African ancestry. So there's that. That's literally the foundation of the relationship between YT men and black women in this country. So
okay,
based off of that foundation, and then moving on to even up to Jim Crow time period, it was common to systematically and to group to gang grape women of African ancestry that were being unalived by groups of YT men. And then moving on to the civil rights era, it was also common to unalive in the same way, the same practice, and it was a lot less common for those types of crimes to be fully investigated. And when we're looking at today, the same thing is still true. It's less likely for people of European ancestry to actually face any criminal charges when they unalive their partners of African ancestry. It's a lot less likely also that men of European ancestry will even see you as human. They may even it's a fetishization and it's over sexualization. They've done literal surveys where they've contacted black women to double check on what, or at least they've done full panels to double check with black women on what their experiences is with dating interracially, even with online dating. And they've found that in the vast majority of cases, YT males more so objectify, they sexually over sexualize, they're looking essentially for sexual exploitation and fetishization purposes. So they'll start the conversation off already objectifying you, talking about, oh, you chocolate, oh, you this, oh, you that, everything except labeling you as who you really are, which is a human being. And that's how they'll start off. And the problem is that it's very, 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 very rare that you will ever bump into a dynamic where your partner actually genuinely is interested in you for you. 9 times out of 10, it usually starts out because they are looking at you and they're trying to possess your blackness. They're trying to get close to being able to produce that melanin, to be able to produce that blackness. So there's a deep seated history that's behind the motivations why YT men will even enter black spaces or even try to emulate black culture as a way to enter black spaces. And there's too much information and too much data out there and too much history that clearly shows that the destruction of African civilizations has in many cases been at the hands of individuals who wanted to participate in that whole love is love ideology, when they participate in the ideology of dating outside the black community. Kemet is one example. Ancient Egypt, one of the most powerful civilizations in all of African history, fell partially because of how many people were dating outside of the black community. And now that we have all of this evidence and all of this history, and to still have people within our community still trying to attempt to participate in romantic relationships with YT people is very problematic. And quite frankly, it originates not from African concepts. It originates from YT people trying to get black people to disassociate themselves enough from their own history to no longer see YT people as the enemy, but to see them as romantic partners, when YT people will only ever see you as an object to possess, not an actual human.
And it's not distancing yourself just from your history. It's distancing yourself from your current reality. That's probably the most like heartbreaking part, because people like that are able, or are able to disassociate themselves in a way that allows them to speak as though they live in a reality that's separate from all the other black people in life. Like, these are the people that will tell you that racism doesn't exist, that if you just pull up your bootstraps, like that whole mentality, and they believe in multiculturalism, and are gonna be mixed, like race is not gonna be a problem, and like we can all like live together in harmony, and you are my neighbor, and love is just love, and love is fine, and I just can't help who I love, and I can't help who I fall in love with, and my kids are a beautiful blend of both worlds, and like that's how them people be. That's
Yep.
how them people
I'm gonna
be.
say this, Tia. I think the commonality is the hate for black men, and I know a lot of people won't admit it because we, as black people, we're in this society. We're taught to be anti-black. It's in you, and I think when black people like us come around, people are like, "Oh, y'all are extreme." But you have to be in so many ways intentional about your community for you actually be able to build within your community. And I think to the detriment of a lot of people, they don't realize, like, just because you quote unquote, like Tia said, love is love thing, that you think that's building in your community, you're dead wrong. Because it's one thing for a person to show up and they said they fall in love. It's another when you find a person that is so willing to appropriate the culture. You have to think, what are your real commonalities? Nobody's gonna openly say it on this panel, but I'll say this: a real commonality that y'all got is the hateful brothers. And it ain't no YT man that ain't racist or is anti-racist that's gonna let a black woman that he paired himself with sit and talk bad about her daddy, talk bad about her brothers and her cousins. The commonality is the hate for your own. And that is the best interest of that person you've paired yourself with, because as long as you give that person space to say that the hate within you that you have, it makes them comfortable. Because they know that as long as you poo-poo on your own community, then you'll always push theirs forward. And
And the
therefore, there's no way in hell anyone can sit here and say they're pro-black while they pew on their own. I don't give a damn what experiences I've had with black men. Black men, it ain't nothing better. It ain't nothing more humane, nothing more caring, nothing that goes more out of their way and more intentional. But I was raised with an awesome black father. I have amazing black brothers. I have amazing uncles and cousins. But I think the dynamic of what a lot of people have issue with is I can see the good and bad. I have good black male family members. I have bad ones. But that's not the collective. And the even worse part about it is, I'm going to say this again. Y'all will lay down with the ones that want to be y'all but hate y'all. And I'm going to say this again. Don't no YT person want to come in and appropriate the culture that ain't racist. I don't care what nobody say. The YT women that put them braids in their head is the same as your husband, racist.
And the issue is that you have to acknowledge the fact that you are building a financial empire for yourself and for your family. But you already acknowledge your children as being black, but who are they going to end up with? They may take over the business. They may take over all the assets, economics, all of that aspect of it. But by you showing them that, by you essentially choosing to date outside the community, that is immediately setting them up for also doing the exact same thing. So that black business that you think is black business is going to not be black business for very long, because you're already not instilling the aspect of how valuable it is to remain within the black community when you're thinking about romantic partners. And I'm telling you that entire financial empire, you are literally setting it up and raising it for the purpose of being taken over predominantly by YT people. And that's what's going to
Get
end
over
up
by a
happening
YT
if that's not.
person.
Yeah, no, if it's not instilled, if a pro-black African identity is not instilled in young ones at an early age, and you're already engaged in a relationship that's outside of the black community, then that immediately is going to set them up for thinking, oh, okay, well, love is love. You know what? Let me go ahead and just find whoever treats me nice. And guess what? This society is going to consistently and ritualistically promote every type of propaganda for them to not end up with black people. So all of that building up, all of that setting up, all that financial preparation that you're doing, and all of that, all right, now I got it together. Great. I'm going to go ahead and pass it down to my kids. The first thing that they're going to be thinking about is like, okay, cool. I've got this financial empire now. My mom set me up. but who is it that I'm going to be marrying? Who is it that I'm going to be now passing
Let's
it
be
down to?
honest. She already teaching them not to choose a black person. Like, let's be honest.
I'm trying to figure
Well,
out how am
technically,
I
yeah.
teaching them about drink.
You
I'm not gonna
you
say my
came up
daughter.
here talking about passport bros and that you didn't have options in regards to black men.
I didn't say
So
I didn't have options. I was like, I
you
like people
said
who
say what
treated me fine. Who treated me fine.
say what you said because with the
I like
black
those who
men,
treated me fine. And I'm
that
not
ain't what you
saying
said.
I
You
wasn't
said
treated correctly
because
by
the
some
black
black men.
no, that's
Other
not what you
black
said.
men,
You
not
said the
so
black
white.
men that I went where I was getting picked, I was getting chosen and treated right, as if the black men weren't treating you right. So all of a sudden you went to the YT men, and I think I've heard a black man say this, and it was so perfectly said. He said, "I thought I was getting treated better, but what it was it was a different type of person. It looked different, but it was the same treatment." And it's always funny how grace is given to everyone except black people from black people.
Yep. And that's literally a European created construct. Like the average person only bumps into 40,000 people in their entire life, meaning you can have a full 80 to 100 years of life on this planet, and you will have only bumped into 40,000 people. And those 40,000 people that you have bumped into will only be in the environments that you've introduced yourself to. So I don't know how, well traveled everybody is. I don't know. But when you look at the demographics and you look at the world as a whole, you're saying that the experiences that you had with black men in the areas that you have been in, by saying that your experiences with black men in those areas is what determined or dictated your decision to then step out of the community, that immediately handicaps you because you're basing your experiences off of just a small percentage of people when there's literally 2 billion people of African ancestry on the planet and roughly 1 billion of them being black men. So I can guarantee you that you haven't met every single brother, because there are brothers out there that very much so will treat you like a queen, that will look at you and see you as divine emanation, which is what you are, and will actually act as such. But to say that, like, hey, black men don't treat me this way,
I'm saying I again, I didn't go with him because like, oh my god, he was white. I went with him because we had a connection. Like, it wouldn't have to do anything with the color of his skin.
Ma'am, y'all had a connection in the strip club, ma'am.
I got
You
asked.
and every other
You
body
wouldn't
in
believe
there,
it. But actually, you know what? You know
ma'am.
what? You know what happened?
I'm surprised
So
he didn't
in
get
7
confused and walk
years,
out with a stripper.
huh?
I said, I'm surprised he didn't get confused and walk out with a stripper, think it was you.
I don't even understand that.
If it was, if you take someone that is already conditioned to over sexualize black women to a place where black women are sexualized, as a black woman,
Was there any black woman in that club? That was Silk, right?
Oh, that's even worse. Lord, you trying to put his dish back in front
He's
of him?
sitting over
He
there
just
laughing.
got out of a 20-year relationship with somebody like that. You just
Oh,
put the meal right
what
back in
I
front of
had
him.
no
Eat.
like we what there was two clubs. It was that one or that one.
Can I
Couldn't
say
be
one
one.
more
We
thing
got
real
the
quick?
other.
Can I say something real quick to you? The
Yeah.
fact that you said you were pro-black, right? This is how you know you're not pro-black. You're just a black person that is dating, interracially, whatever. So
So they
we
can't
know not.
coexist. That's
Listen,
absolutely
listen,
different.
listen, listen to what I'm finna say.
Okay.
If you were pro-black in this conversation, he wouldn't be listening. That's one of the first things because we're having a black conversation. But even in this very conversation, him laughing because he doesn't understand the dynamics of black people
It didn't
and the
laugh.
displacement. Ma'am, he does not understand what it is to be black. He understands the proximity of it and the penetration of it. He does not understand what it is to be black. It is very obvious.
exactly. Like for him to be laughing when we're having these legitimate conversations and these are actual real statistics, real data, real concerns. It's not just a game. Like this is what we're talking about. These are examples of bringing literally people who do not have the best interests of the black community at heart within black spaces. And that is dangerous. We know historically that has always been dangerous. There's never going to be a time where it hasn't been dangerous. Looking throughout all of American history, looking throughout all of African history, you can see very clearly that the second that YT people have been introduced into black conversations, into black spaces, they've attempted to hijack and infiltrate and take the information, whatever they learn from that, and use it to the detriment of black people. So in and of itself, the fact that he's wearing and I didn't even check out his profile. I didn't even check out the whole profile thing, but the fact that he's wearing a sacred African traditional hairstyle that is thousands of years old that directly links a black man to his spirituality, and he is laughing at the fact that we are talking about black unity. That
When
is
did he
that is
laugh? I'm
extremely
trying to figure
problematic.
out, when did he laugh? Like, what? When did anybody hear a laugh?
Don't guess. We heard that damn chuckle.
You fucking out now.
Like you being ridiculous now.
Holy Spirit, activate, because y'all got brother effed up. Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome. You are in Brother Legends Live. Again, you are in Brother Legends Live. Go ahead and tap that screen. We need 50K and we need it. Oh, okay. You're not tapping and I'm not seeing the shares. Share the live with your friends, your frenemies, include your damn enemies. But share the live, tap the screen, and make sure you gift in, brother. Y'all see this work he up here doing? Now, don't forget to subscribe to Brother Legends Live. A lot of you might end up having to subscribe because if you don't tap this 50K out, we're going to go ahead and put it on sub only. Make sure you subscribe here and on YouTube. And make sure you join the Discord, B1 Initiative. .org. Hey, you guys, have y'all ever thought about just getting in here and getting a shout out? If you send Brother Legend, let's see, what do we want, brother? The power paw. I'll shout you out in my amazing voice. But again, tap the screen. We need 50K. Gift the host and make sure you're sharing the live.
Now that's a voice.
Appreciate you, D. All right, y'all. I think we've gone as far as we're gonna go with this one.
Okay.
You know
I
what I'm
have
saying?
okay.
She still got to turn around and make out with the Marshmallow Man. So
And that
that's
I shall do. I bid you
you know
ladies
what
and
I'm saying?
gentlemen, a
That's
good night.
you already in that bag. Like we trying to talk to people that's dating. You know, not married and kids. Ain't no convincing that. But we're not really trying to convince. We just want brothers and sisters that's watching to understand the difference between anti-racist and pro-black. I do hope that you're being an anti-racist. Don't sound like it, but I hope that you learn more about racism and how it affects your people. And yeah, hopefully you can be an anti-racist with your little white Lil Wayne.
That
And
Anybody
black man.
wondering about
That's what
you
they
about
being.
to
sorry, go ahead, Queen.
Like that's that's a good
No
example of
question.
why people say that black love and well I'll just say black love is like it's radical, it's political, it like the easy way out is to blame your choice on, oh, I had one or two like bad experiences, and to allow that to force you to allegedly force you to deviate from your own people group and choose somebody else, but because to do the work on yourself internally and also to better vet the people that you interact with is too much work. Like that effort is better used elsewhere. Like that's that type of like mentality. One of the most dangerous things that we as black people can do is choose each other. Like whether that's romantic, it's platonic, business relationships, that is one of the most dangerous things that we can do to these structures and these outside people is to couple up. And the way they chip at y'all, and y'all being the people who do that, like it's like a weakness in the mind to convince you that it's easier to collude with other people than it is to work amongst yourselves.
wow.
Like
Exactly. It's a
it's
deliberate.
crazy. Like she more or less said because of these several men that she dealt with, they are no longer all of these men are no longer worth my time. And I'm just focus elsewhere because these white men over here, quote unquote, like me. Heavy on the air quotes.
Exactly. Like you can't say that a decision is your own when you've spent the entirety of your life being indoctrinated by a system teaching you to engage in the decision that you made. Like
Right.
it's not your own. It's never going to be your own decision because you are literally living in a society where they promote interracial marriages all the time now. They, like every other movie that you are seeing, every other commercial, every other advertisement is always showing a interracial relationship, and it's usually showing white men with black women. And like, I even at one point in time I had a conversation with someone who told me that they wanted to engage in a relationship with a white man because of how amazing and how awesome it looked in social media. And she was talking about how she wanted to be just like how the models are, be just like how the people that are showing and trying to uplift these interracial relationships under the false pretenses that, oh, well, love is love, and oh, look, we found an opportunity of finding love together. Maybe we should start dating outside the community. Maybe we should start not focusing so much on whatever it is that you guys are focusing on. 9 times out of 10, every single time I've had a conversation with somebody who has been in favor of dating outside the community, rarely knows anything about Black African history, rarely knows anything about their own African roots, rarely knows anything about rarely knows anything about the history of the impact that dating outside the community has had on Black people. Like, it's you can't be conscious and you can't be educated in that and still choose the propaganda method. Like,
And
you
they
just can't.
barely know anything about them men either, or them people either. They just go all in on dating them because, again, the white man ice is colder. They ain't got to experience nothing. They don't know nobody who been with none of them. But just because they white, it must be better than what you dealing with. And boo
Yeah.
boo boo be the fool when they end up, and this is not a slight, but like when they end up being a single parent too, and all of the same situations that you thought was only held for Black people, you be in the same damn scenario with a white person, embarrassed to say it was because of a white person because you thought that would never happen to you.
Yep.
I just made a video talking about how non-black people get individual accountability, and we hold ourselves with group accountability. Like the example I used was like when you go to a restaurant, you go to a black-owned restaurant, you'll see black people talking about, the customer service was bad. This is why I don't like supporting black-owned business. It's tough out here supporting black-owned business. But then you go to Burger King and the treatment is bad. And the next following week, you'll just go to a different Burger King. You ain't gonna say, oh, well, these non-black owned businesses just be treating us bad. And like, you know, they get individual accountability and the assumption of innocence that we don't give to ourselves. So, it's just, part of anti-blackness, part of our cognitive dissonance. That's what I think sister was going through. That's what all my damn near talks is about. Is cognitive dissonance between people that care about the context in which we were brought to this country and people that don't. Because you can't tell me our people was brought here. People don't know how short even 500 years is in like history. Like people that don't study history don't know that 500 years is not a long time at all. They're just going based on technology and like say, well, back in the day they didn't have no TV, so that was a long time ago. Like, nah, we were brought here against our will, y'all. Like by those people. So as long as we're still oppressed and as long as they still benefit from the institutions that were created during those times, you have Stockholm syndrome. Until that goes away, until they paid, or not wouldn't even say paid reparations, but until reparations are made, you know what I'm saying? Till there's been a re-brainwashing and everyone goes back to what race? What is race? What does that even mean? You called yourself black yesterday. Do you mean your clothes? Like I don't know what that means. Like when we get to the point where race is no longer a social construct, it's just gone. It's erased. It's done. Then we can talk about it. But Frederick Douglass talked about how back in the day you would talk to a slave and they would say they're not slaves. So I think that's what we're dealing with today is we don't want to admit that, our history, the context which we were brought here exists. We'd rather just say everything's fine now.
Yeah. Exactly. And one of the biggest mistakes that Frederick Douglass made was after his wife passed away, he dated outside the community. And he couldn't even give like a good excuse for it. Like, I think based off of what I read, he was just kind of like, oh, well, I had a turn with black. Now it's time to have a turn with white. Like, that's
Yeah.
like that's very, very problematic.
He said,
And
he
considering
said,
the fact,
he said his father, which one was black?
oh, his mother was black, and his father. It was
Yeah.
rumored yeah, he believed that his enslaver was also his father.
So that's what he said. He said I dated my mother's race. I was with my mother's race first, and then he said he went over to his father, so it kind of like balanced out. That's something like that. Is the way he said it was. I tried my mother, and now I'm doing my father.
Yep.
Well,
And the crazy part is that there's this instance where he talked about his first, like him first experiencing the brutality of slavery. And his first experience with seeing the brutality of slavery was when he was a child, and his enslaver, also his father, wanted essentially to control sexually his aunt. And his aunt was entertaining the romantic advances of an enslaved African man on a different plantation. And he didn't like that. He wanted her for himself. So he beat her within an inch of her life right in front of Frederick Douglass. But of course, they didn't know that Frederick Douglass was in the room. He was hiding at the time. But he beat her within an inch of her life because she just simply wanted to entertain the romantic advances of a black man rather than the enslaver that was forcing himself on her. Like
wow.
there's a whole method and a whole tactic behind them doing this. They don't have to beat people anymore because all they have to do, well, actually they still do, but they don't have to because now all they have to do is just pump a whole bunch of propaganda, and then everybody keeps falling for it. Everybody keeps falling for the nonsense that they're seeing on TV. Everybody keeps falling for all the advertisements that we're seeing and all this stuff like that. There are reasons why they are paying millions of dollars to have these advertisements out there in the first place. There's reasons. You can't just immediately see like all of these, like when you see, all right, everybody knows the difference between when, for example, like the Wall Street Journal is promoting Israel versus when actual legitimate individuals who are trying to share the truth are promoting the atrocities that is happening against Palestinians. And the same thing goes with when they're trying to report on the Congo. They're never going to talk it's the same type of dynamic. So you have to pay attention to what purpose the propaganda is serving. And the propaganda very clearly is showing, hey, black women, you can be anything, you can do anything, which is great. Like, okay, cool. Yes, we want to uplift our queens. Absolutely. But they always preface it by including, like, hey, you can do anything and be anything, but only if you disregard your black man and pursue us instead. Yeah, pursue us. If they didn't have a vested interest in that, then they wouldn't be pursuing it this much. They wouldn't be spreading this much propaganda.
Hmm. Yeah. And you can't name one revolution where the men and women separating was good for the revolution. Go ahead, Tia.
I was about to say I can't remember the guy's name, but it was a Panther who spent a significant amount of time in jail over um SA and
Elder
DV.
Cooper.
Yes, 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 yes. That one. The words that he was writing about YT women were very
I could try to. I know what he said.
I can't remember verbatim, but
He said.
my mind was low key. I was like, what?
He said. He said. All right. He said the most revolutionary thing that a black man can do is to essay of a bagel, if y'all know what I'm talking about. A cream cheese bagel. You know what I'm saying? A blonde bagel. Do y'all know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? All right. Because I'm this is dangerous. He said the most revolutionary thing a brother can do is eat a cream cheese bagel non-consensually. And I get why he said that because Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talks about it. They're afraid that we're going to do to their women what they've already done to ours. I know some of y'all that sounds crazy, but they did it to our women. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all feel bad for them, right? You feel horrible for them, right? They ain't feel bad for y'all. They ain't feel bad for y'all. So I'm not saying what he said is right, but don't feel too bad. That's all I'm saying.
And
But
he was also
here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is where he crosses the line. Are we ready? This is where he crosses the line. He said, "I practice on sisters." That's where he went too far. That's where he went. That's where he went too far. But
Yeah, that
yeah.
is
and
literally
he
a
had a whole
European
he had a
created
whole black
mentality.
wife. I ain't finished that book yet, but I think he wrote
Yeah,
that book when he was in prison,
Kathy,
right?
yeah, his wife is like she was like one of the leaders of the movement, like, you know. But he said that before he joined the Panthers. He said that in a book, but like I said, I get where he was going, but he definitely took it too far. When, for me, I'll tell you, I don't know, like, y'all want to me too, me, you can, but me, I don't feel bad for them people. I don't, because they are, like, if you know the stories of our ancestors, if you know what Christopher Columbus said, if you know what George Washington did, if you know what Thomas Jefferson did, then he ain't said nothing but nothing. Nothing that hasn't been done to us already. But and so I don't, my empathy stops there. But he crossed the line with the sisters. That's except he did say that before he joined the movement. After he joined the movement, you know, there were things in place to keep men from acting a certain way. So that's the best I could do for him. After that, you know, yeah.
That's literally it's a European it's European culture, because European cultures were the only ones that really heavily engaged in like mass atrocities against their own women. Like that has nothing to do with African culture. Like, you don't see that. I mean, obviously, throughout all of human history, there has been instances where any number of things has happened. But at the end of the day, what has been widely known for a very long time in European culture is that they regularly did not see any value in their own women and in their own kids. Like, they operated more so off of like a patriarchy. Like, that was their societal norms. We operated off of matriarchal. So we operated more so off of uplifting our women, bringing women up to the top. Like, hey, you know what? If you want to be a queen, okay, bet, be a queen. Like, that's it. Like, and we would immediately recognize you for the divine that you are. But
So would
European
y'all
culture is the
say,
one that creates that foundational belief that you have to engage in forced relations with certain women in order to be revolutionary. Like, that is not an African ideology. That comes straight from Europe.
so would y'all say that YT women have Stockholm syndrome?
White T
Mm.
women.
I mean, they benefit from being around their own YT males. So I mean, I wouldn't even really call it Stockholm syndrome. I would more so just like they're the beneficiaries of the same oppression that they are. Yeah, they're the beneficiaries
Fair
of that
enough.
oppression.
So what
So
I'm
it's not.
saying is, they've historically always treated them like trash. But even when it came to voting against their own, like themselves, like their best interest, they still would go with the YT man.
Because they're safer there. They know that that's the
Touche.
thing. That's the thing. Like, sometimes, like, yo, can I tell y'all? Because we don't got that many people in here. I'll be real. Sometimes I be thinking, like, community is really just women, and like the men are like they're like little foot soldiers. But really, what's going on, like, is women versus women, and like the men are like their foot soldiers. Like, the men will just do the work for the women. Like, I think that's sometimes how, like, I don't know, like, the more I look at history, I'm just like it's like the women are like the real, like, citizens of Earth, and like the men are like supposed to be like they're like we carry out their will type thing. Like, sometimes I think of it. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense.
There's a
Um,
study about this.
is
Chess.
it?
You're talking
There's a
about chess, the queen and the pawn.
You
there's a
feel me? Yeah, it's
there's a
kind of like,
study about this,
yeah.
what that the community lies within women and children.
Uh huh.
And I can't break it down verbatim, but somebody was literally talking to me about this a couple weeks ago. But there's a study about that, so I
So
don't
it's
I don't
like
think
it's
I'm right
white
though.
women versus black women for real. Like that's really what's going on. But the men are the ones that go on the battlefield and are doing this whole thing. But they that's why they unaliving us at such high rates. Like they're cracking through the defenses to get to y'all. Like they know that they get rid of us and y'all are unprotected, which y'all are heavily unprotected already because of it. That's the whole plan is to make sure y'all are unprotected. So, I think about it sometimes.
And no, it's facts, King. Facts. Like that's their goal. They
I
don't
just haven't
want.
read that somewhere. So, I seen you put a book down there, T. Is that what that book is about?
Nah, the book was Eldridge
Um,
Cleaver's book. I don't know the name of the study, but when
mhm.
I come across the person who was talking to me about it, I'll ask her for it.
Yeah, because like that's the thing. Like that's why I said it was like an opinion. Because I usually talk on things I've read somewhere where if someone were to try to where you get that? Like at least say something. But that one is just out of my head. I just was like, it feel like really it's just women. Like the white women are using the white men, but yeah, they are. Like and so the black men, we the white men just have more power to do stuff. Like black men are not in control. Black men can't protect themselves, and sometimes I see that conversation too. It's like black men need to protect black women and I be telling my sisters, like my sisters, and I'm not even I'm talking about my blood sisters. I be telling them, be like, yo, black men can't protect themselves. You better like I don't know what to tell. Like I made sure my sisters got some pow on them, you know what I'm saying? Or at least some mace. I told her, don't you walk out the house. Except one of my sisters, she drive Uber. I made sure she had a taser. I'm like, yo, because you can't pepper spray in a car. That you both gonna be coughing. It's gonna get crazy. But you know what I'm saying? Like black men can't protect themselves most of the time.
Yeah.
So that's the
Even during. Oh my bad, King. You weren't done.
no. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like yeah. I mean they forced a culture of black men not desiring to protect black women, and how they did that is that
Mhm.
every single black man that stood up and that tried to defend black women during slavery, when enslavers would force themselves on black women, they would make examples of them. They would literally they would literally string them up right in front of every single person on the plantation for the purposes of slowly unaliving them so that everybody can see, hey, the next time that you try to prevent the enslaver from committing atrocities against your women, yeah, this is going to happen to your men. So
Yeah.
all you fathers, all you brothers, uncles, all you nephews, every single one of y'all that see something happening to the women that you care about in your life, if at any point you see that something is bad is happening to them and you decide, hey, you know what? That's a bad thing that's happening to them. I'm a human being. I actually have emotions. I actually have empathy for my own people, for my own family, for my own queens. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to protect them. They're immediately going to make an example of you. Like that's how they operate. That's how they have functioned, and that's where that culture of black men not wanting to protect black women even comes from. Like it has nothing to do with black men coming around and being like, you know what, man, we need to start thinking critically about everything else, about this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. No, no. The vast majority, like we are literally speaking in the language of our oppressors.
Generational trauma.
Ex-
Generational trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Quinn. Exactly. So it's a deliberate effort to prevent black men from re-embracing their natural roots, which has always been to be to protect black women, to protect our own women. Period. Like that's just they don't want us to see value in protecting our own women because protecting our own women means that they no longer can oppress them. They no longer that means that they no longer can engage in human trafficking because black women, I think 2020 over 90,000 black women were reported missing in 2020 alone, and tens of thousands of black women are reported missing annually, many of them ending up as statistics and victims of human trafficking.
That makes me
And
mad.
just like Brother Legend, how he just pointed out before, the largest demographic of people that seek out the sex of these victims of sex trafficking are white males. So
Yeah.
if there was no desire on the market, then that market would not exist. If there
But
was
they
no
don't get group accountability. Black men
Mhm.
do. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. Like when it comes to them, you can tell all the statistics of how white men have treated our sisters since the beginning of America. You could run down the whole list of these people, and I mean these people. I mean brothers and sisters that are on that side of the fence. You can run down the list, and they're gonna say, "But mine is a good one." Like
Yep.
an individual, like you see what I'm saying? Like he's not part of the collective. But
Yep.
when it comes to black men, the reason I don't think y'all is because this man one time told me this, and y'all all like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
that's kind of wild. And they don't say y'all all, but they'll say like, black men don't want me because a few brothers rejected them, and it's probably because the same reason that they with the white man in the first place.
And the
Yep.
thing
It's
that
crazy
kills
how.
me is that you will go and put all of that work into allegedly teaching that white man to like know your culture and all the other kind of stuff. And that this is not me advocating for like black women to go out and per se like try to teach black men anything, but it's like if you were going to exert that amount of effort in teaching and like I guess maybe correcting someone, why wouldn't you do it with your own? Like I'll be damned if I'm going to be with someone and I got to come home and bring out a whiteboard and break down to them, okay, when I come home and talk about the police, this is not the time for you to do whataboutism. This is most likely about race. I am not doing that type of labor with somebody that I am procreating with somebody I'm married to. I am not fucking doing it. I don't give a damn what you got to say about black men. That's a level of labor that I'm not doing at home. I'm not doing it.
Exactly. Exactly. Literally engaging in that, you would be setting yourself up for failure because not only do you have to combat the entire world, but then as soon as you come home, the place that you consider to be your oasis, your peace away from everything else, you immediately have to get right back into battle and education mode because your own partner, the person whom you are sharing the most intimate moments of your mind, your spirit, your body with, literally doesn't even understand the basic concepts of what you are talking about when you are navigating the world as a black person. So it's weird that you would even desire to be a part of having to consistently educate a person who's supposed to be your peace. And it's just it doesn't it's like you're building your foundation on quicksand, and you think that the foundation is going to be perfectly fine, but then when half your house sinks into the earth, all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a second, what happened? I just don't understand where this all came from. I don't understand, why did he all of a sudden hit me with the n-word when we had that argument? Why did he all of a sudden ask me to refer to him as master in the bedroom? Why did all of a sudden he try to reestablish all these weird dynamics? And then the problem is that you know so little about African history that you don't even know that that literally comes from European colonization, over sexualization of black women, the over sexualization of black men. Like all of that comes from that. So in and of itself, if you're not even asking the question of, hey, why are you pursuing me in the first place? If you're not even conscious enough to ask that question right off the gate, then you immediately are setting yourself up for experiencing one of the greatest like atrocities, which is you opening up your own body willingly to a person who historically has had absolutely no value in you being a human being at all.
Like I hate the way that interracial couples, particularly on this app, but just in general on social media, make being in an interracial relationship like their whole personality. Every video is centered around their biracial kids, them like, how do you know I'm with a black woman? How do you know I'm with a white man? Or how do you know I'm with a black man? Like, let me tell you without telling you, or let me teach you how to lay edges for our future daughter. Like, what the entire fuck? Like, you can't be in your interracial relationship in peace. We gotta know about it like every second, every video. Like, that's how you paying your rent every month is pimping out your blackness in relation to the person that you sleep with every night. Like that shit is fucking weird. It's so weird.
Yep. Yep. I even noticed there was this
Hot
one.
y'all today, Tia. They got you hot.
Tia get riled up and gonna just spit out that
That
ether.
shit make my eye roll. Like
You grabbing them edges and yanking them down the hall.
I don't like, and I sometimes I feel bad the way I be like feeling about people because I don't be giving them nothing. Like I don't watch their videos, I don't like them, I don't comment on them, I don't do nothing. Like I'd rather get that to the black person who just I don't know, they could be blowing spit bubbles on their videos, but I'd rather like give them some engagement because it just is weird. And then you find out like even with that I forget what that lady name is, but you know that YT woman that has that biracial daughter that people was getting clips of like her abusing the little girl
Abusing
behind
her, yeah.
like stuff like that. And you if it wasn't for you having a biracial kid, you wouldn't have nothing to talk about. You wouldn't have nothing to make videos about. Like it's so
Their bread and
weird.
butter. She gets money off that little girl. And the sad part is like, she's like, I told her if she doesn't want to do this anymore, mommy will find another way to make money. Do you know what kind of like stress you're putting on that child? You just told her that she's feeding both of y'all. You just told her that she keeps your Stella. That's her name, Stella. You just told this baby that she's responsible for feeding your entire family, and you treating her the way you treat her.
Exactly. It's like you're using your child's blackness to gain notoriety, and you're literally using that for monetary compensation, and then you're telling your child, your toddler, a person who should only be worried about, like what's the next kid book that I'm trying to get from the store, or hey, that toy looks really nice. A kid who's supposed to be living life as a kid, you are now thrusting adult responsibilities onto a child that is being that's basically being systematically used for the purpose of gaining monetary value. Like you're putting your child in a position where she has to decide, okay, do I continue letting my mom exploit my blackness or and make money and have food on the table, or do I put my foot down and be like, mommy, I don't want to do this anymore. I really don't feel comfortable in doing this. I think that what you're doing to me is wrong, and immediately have risk the
Survive the
possibility of your
story.
mom.
Surviving my
Exactly.
YC mom.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And then you immediately are risking having to deal with your mom then retaliating against you because you're refusing to allow her to it is so weird. Like you just like people really be lost in the sauce and they don't even realize that they're drowning in sauce. And it's just like can we just get you a wet rag and just clean some of that off so you can like have a second to actually realize what's going on.
Wow.
Can we get to 75K?
Hello, hello, hello. You have boarded Brother Legends Live. Now, as you sit down, I need you to buckle up because for some odd reason, you guys have not actually been participating today. Now, I don't know if you're sick, you're tired, or you're just bored, but I need you to pump it up, gosh darn it. Liven it up and tap the damn screen. Power tap, Tia, not you. Power tap that screen. And at the end of the day, make sure that you get your peanut butter and your water. Excuse me, your peanuts. This is the gallery. At the end of the day, also share the live. Make sure that you're sharing with your friends, your frenemies. Will even include your gosh darn enemies. Make sure you subscribe to Brother Legends Live here and on YouTube. Oh, he's buckling up. It's about to be the men's in black.
You funny.
So you guys, make sure that you also join the Discord, b1initiative.org. But before you do anything, tap the damn screen. 75K is goal.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think the gang's all here tonight. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get on earlier because I knew earlier could have caught more eyes, but I messed up on my video and had to repost it. Try to post a video before you come up here. Appreciate you, Stella. I don't know where she. I don't know where she getting these different. It's like I've never seen none of these gifts before. Appreciate you, Stella. Thank you very much for supporting the platform. Oh yeah, I'm at 40,000, y'all. Y'all got me to 40,000, man. I really appreciate y'all so much. That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all don't even know. Like, y'all don't even know. That's like crazy to me. Like, it's blowing my mind. I never had that many followers on any platform.
Oh, followers. Okay.
Yeah, 40,000 followers. Yeah. Uh, I started. I was around this time last year, but I think it was like the fall. It was like the fall last year. I had like maybe like 100 something, 200, and the black is the black woman follow train happened. I got my first 1,000. I started going live. I got beat up a few times by some of y'all know her, Indigo Coates. How many of y'all know Indigo Coates, man? Don't bring her in here, man. She a op. She got a different name now.
Sound familiar.
Yeah, she a op, man. She a big op. She don't like black people. She don't like African American people. She don't like African American people. She a big op. Big op.
That's not the
Tell her I sent for her, but tell her don't come.
that's not the South Africa. No, that's not her.
I think she is South African, yeah, but she in America. She in America, but she's South African, but she
The one with the black American guy?
I don't think she got a guy. I don't know.
Okay, because I'm like, that cannot be who I think it is.
My hair is all over the place because I was trying to eat. But yeah, she came in my live, tried to tell me like, she could never be a Pan-African because y'all just want to like basically she thought Pan-Africanism meant bringing Africa like countries together without like the diaspora, just like governments coming together to form one big government. And I was like, that's not what Pan-Africanism means. Like, and she just wouldn't hear it. And then a whole gang of people came up here and was like, you need to listen. You do not listen. Like, they're African. They're like, you do not listen. Like, that's how they talk. Like, very, this way is the right way. Like, like, so I'm like, yo, what? And, I was early in my Pan-Africanism journey, but I'm like, according to what I've been reading, I thought it was about black people, and I wasn't even that early because let me say, like, I grew up with Pan-Africans, like, people teaching us in church, like, Black History Month. So even though it was a Christian church, they were still ex-members of the UNIA, that marched with Marcus Garvey in Harlem. So this is like these are people that was teaching me. They was old as heck, but they were still alive when I was young. So like they was teaching me, and I didn't know what Pan Africanism was, but I knew. I don't know. Their truth started to resonate with me when I got older. What you learn when you're young resonates when you get older. Like you learn it again, and then you're like, damn, okay, that feel right. Yeah, that's how I believe. Anyway, so she ate me up a few times, but I kept going. And then I had some of the passport bros come in here. I definitely didn't like none of them. Then I started doing different lives. I did the interracial relationships. That's when things started kind of getting interesting. I said I want to make my platform something that unifies black people because I see a lot of division. And yeah, that was just been my goal since I made this account. I just wanted the unity. I don't want no gender wars. If anybody talking crazy about black women, I don't want to hear it. Or at least make it, something productive that the people listening can like hear us dispel the narratives, like, about black men, black women, about Africans. I should do another one like between Africans and African Americans. I want to bring us together. I just said I'm gonna just make it unifying. That's it. Like that was really the whole idea. That was the whole goal. And now here we are. We have 40,000 followers in a year. That my target is set high. I'm trying to get to 1 million, but my short term goal is 100,000. Get to 100,000. I'm a Pan African propagandist, so it's all about unity. I'm not going to get them fast, but the people that have been supporting me, man, y'all have been great, and I hope to keep feeding y'all what I'm learning. That's it. I seen a sister on the Breakfast Club said, she She said that you never you don't like people that mentor people don't always feel ready to do it. Like I suffer a lot with imposter syndromes. Like, so I'll be learning stuff and I'll be feeling like I'm not qualified to teach. But then I realize that a lot of people not even learning what I'm learning. Like I listen to I listen to you know I listen to John Henrik Clark, Ishaka Musa, Barashango. I listen to these people like almost daily. Like I can't remember the last time I've gone a day without listening to at least something from them. So that's really what my life has been about for the past 10 years.
You know, some really good advice that I got, also somebody who suffers from imposter syndrome, but
Mm-hmm.
this was really about like applying for government jobs, but it really applies to everything when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they have these little surveys for some of the positions that you apply to that ask you like what your aptitude is for certain things.
Yeah.
And she said that you need to put that you're an expert for everything. And you need
Mm-hmm.
to own that you're not lying about it. And the rationale is that you're an expert to someone. They didn't ask you who you're an expert to.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always taken that little nugget like outside of the applying for jobs thing and to kind
Yeah.
of like check yourself when you're having that imposter syndrome, because when you learn something, there's always somebody. And I have to check myself with it too as a content creator, because now that this app has been up for so long, there's so many people talking about so many things. And anything you
Yeah.
can think of, you can find somebody making a video about it. But it's
Yeah.
like there's somebody and several somebodies out there that need to hear you tell it, that need to hear you teach it. And it's not that it doesn't exist somewhere else, but they need to hear it from you.
Mm-hmm.
So like block out it already exists, somebody already did it, I don't know that much. Whatever you know is something that somebody else doesn't know, and they need to hear it from you.
Yeah, I heard that. That's real.
Exactly.
It
That's
runs
part of
deep with me. Before you go, Timothy, I just wanted to share with y'all. I'm working a job right now that I don't want to actually work. But I'm working it because I have a financial goal that I'm going to contribute to my business, part of which plays into the nonprofit as well. So I'm kind of like, that's kind of why I've been like on and off with coming on here. Like I haven't really had a set schedule at work, so my schedule has been like moving around. But uh I got employee of the month today, and I swear to God, they was gonna fire me because I don't give a damn about this job. Like, like my wife. Every time I get out of work, I talk to my wife, and I keep saying, "Nah, don't congratulate me. Don't congratulate me, y'all. This a plantation
And
we
you,
talking about."
because that employee of the month is going to help you fund the business. I don't give a damn about that company
True,
either.
true. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah,
So
you're right.
you,
congrats.
I heard that.
you
Yeah, but
congratulated me for the
the
goal, not for the company.
okay, okay, all right. Nah, because the company is problematic as hell. This is one of them companies that probably should pay us reparations. But what I was saying was, yeah, like that's how deep the imposter syndrome is. Because I really be getting off of work, calling my wife like they gonna fire me. They firing me. I'm like, I don't know how long we gonna have it. They gonna fire me. And then today she talked about you got good. I got great news for you. You're employee of the month. They gave me a whole little certificate. I'm like, yo, I thought I was getting fired. Like, that's the thing. So,
Bless you.
um, that shit funny as yo. Like my wife has been cracking up. Like you N word of the month. You. But yeah, all right. I'm done. Go ahead, Timothy. What you was gonna say?
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say that definitely to T's point. Yeah, well, I mean, of course, based on what you were saying, what T was saying, T, when like that's exactly why I feel as though it's very much so um my personal duty to have people see my face and see me
Mhm.
address certain topics, because it's like, all right, if I grew up in a very specific dynamic where it's like, all right, I'm the product of an interracial marriage and I have very, very, very firm understanding of the facts and the truth very much so goes hand in hand with embracing your Africanity, embracing who you are as a black person.
Yeah.
And, like that's, yeah, like a lot of times, you know, and also because of my proximity to whiteness, because of my lighter skin complexion, sometimes people just will not listen unless it's coming from a person who has that type of visual appearance. And it's a shame to have to operate in that, but also at the same time I don't have a problem with operating in that, because at the same time I still actively use my whiteness as a means of opening up space and opening up opportunities for my more melanated brothers and sisters, which is what we are supposed to be doing. Anytime that they're actively preventing, like anytime that they're actively preventing our own family members from gaining access to these spaces and access to equity and opportunity, like it is your responsibility to use the system against itself to help to benefit black people. And like and yeah, to your point, that's also part of the reason why I stepped away from working in banking and finance for so long. Because like the only time that I would ever like rejoin that field is if it's at a black owned bank. And like yeah, because like you'd be so surprised the dynamics that like it's literally like a plantation. They set up the whole
Yeah.
organization like that.
Yup.
And of course, oh sorry, go ahead, King.
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, yeah, so like
Right.
yeah, like, and at the same time working in spaces like that and doing all of this work, making all of these efforts, to just fill another whitey person's pocket at the top of the tier. Literally it's counterproductive to the black community. And it's like you can't be like, all right, I'm going to build a black organization, and then at the same time have the majority of your efforts on like in an 8 hour schedule going right back into the pockets of YT people that have absolutely zero benefits to add to the black community. And it's yeah, it's definitely not easy, but at the same time it's necessary. We're worth it, period. Like there is no question about that. We are worth it to make the commitment, to make that effort, to self-educate, to make that effort to do what needs to be done for the betterment of black people.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I mean, that's, yeah, exactly, man. That's what I've been thinking to myself too, is like, I'm working this job and this company directly benefited directly, like just like probably the bank you're talking about directly benefit from enslaving our ancestors. It makes me nauseous. But I also know that's part of survival on a plantation. Like we didn't create these conditions. All we can do is try to survive in it. And the reason that I'm doing it is because I am going to set up, like me and my wife, like we're setting up everything in order. Like like we got a whole what do they call that? Damn. Now I'm forgetting up here. When you do financial planning for your future, I forgot the name of it though. Estate planning. Like we're doing like estate planning so that even the nonprofit is like not owned by us but like owned by a trust. And then so yeah, we're like setting up all our ducks in a row so that we can have everything together for when we're making our move to Africa. And like yeah, we're like using the job to like fund the business, which will fund everything else. Eventually it'll fund itself, and yeah, it'll do all that. So we're setting up our dominoes, and so that's why I'm just keeping my mind focused on the outcome. And yeah, everything's been going pretty well too, to be honest. And in the meantime, I got my little platform over here, so I think we're just gonna keep growing. I do need some coders, man. If y'all know anybody that wants to add a cool technology project to their portfolio, I'm doing that as well.
Brother,
Yeah.
you
Go
got a
ahead.
cash app?
A cash app
Yeah.
for what?
Okay.
Not there yet, D. You not there yet.
Listen, he got 40K followers. The reason you have 40K followers because somebody's listening and wants to support you. When you're telling me you building on the in that regard, put a cash app up here and watch how, like you listen. I'm gonna use Clubhouse as an example because Tia know when we was on Clubhouse, people would come in and send us money because we were our time. They were like, y'all putting in y'all time, y'all are giving information, you're educating. They would pay us.
Mm.
We be on the Tia. Am I lying?
I mean, that's long term.
They pay people to pack you when you was packing up people. Them cash apps used to be dinging off.
Crazy. Nah, I mean, I long term, my plan is like how I'm doing with this live. I'm doing with my videos. Like long term, I think I'm gonna be doing this till I'm like gone. Like you know what I'm saying? I'll be like I'm hoping this will be like some sort of like video diary for me, where when I leave, what I leave behind will be like knowledge for my children and my grandchildren. Know who the ancestor that connected them back to Africa, like who he is, what he was doing. Because I'm gonna be the ancestor that brings my family back to the continent. Like that, like that's really been, and that's why I told you about when you get into a relationship with a woman, you all have a goal in common. Like you know that you need her for part of your future. Like that's the that's like the thing that you know what I'm saying. Like that's what we doing. It gets really deep, but yeah.
Elementary in the making.
So yeah, I do think yeah, like I'm a monetize and all that stuff like later on. Like right now, I'm trying to get to my first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and but I think I'm gonna be doing this for a long time because it's so much like you know cocoonery out here.
You
So
know,
I ain't never gonna run out of stuff to
merch.
talk.
You got 40,000 subs. You need merch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Put something
yeah,
on the shirt.
Yeah.
yeah. I thought of that too, but then I thought like if I did that, then I'm gonna want some dollars to go to Congo because I'm you know what I'm saying like.
But you could be the one
Singapore.
transitioning that though. Like, see,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think this is where things get a little muddy for us as Black people. That's why I always say we're moral people because we forget that other entities, even the quote unquote nonprofits, they actually pay. And there's a reason why those things continuously function because the time that you're not working right now is the time that you still need to be generating some level of revenue.
Mhm.
So I know it sounds crazy when I ask it, but for my platforms, I'm normally saying, okay, if I'm going to be up here 2 or 3 hours, I still have to hit go. I work for myself. No one's coming in and giving me extra assistance. So every time that I get in particular situations, that funding has to be there. And it's not me asking you for money. It's me paying or you paying someone to educate and elevate your psyche. And you got to remember, you offer content, you offer
Appreciate you, man.
books. Thank you, me, myself, and I. But you have to remember that you also have supporters, and there are people that are willing to pay for the entertainment and education in which you're giving. That's all. You could take that money and send it to Congo if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Respectfully, you gotta get out your own way. It's people out here making a nice little bag just off of like, for example, that girl that had the baby daddy, the random man from Atlanta. She had like 4 or 5 different merch items just because she popularized that term that now she don't even want to use no more. Now that she got a sizable platform, I'm telling you, slap a slogan on a shirt, especially now that people are talking about Congo. Say X
mm,
percent of this is going towards this organization for Congo. The rest of this is going towards the B1 Foundation. Period.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. See. Yeah, I
You
could do
can't
that.
steal mine, but mine
Yeah.
gonna be watch them cave nuts.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm good with graphics too, so I could probably come up with something. And I was thinking, yeah,
To the
it gotta
thin,
be it gotta be something dope. I come up with
say
something.
no to the
Mm.
thin lipian, and put Dr. Umar on there. Put Dr. Umar on there.
Right. No thin lippy is. You ain't gotta overthink it either. Just start with one. Start with one
Yeah.
little catchy thing. It just gotta be just text. It don't even have to be no images. Just put text on the shirt. You can pre-order it, take the work out of it for
Okay.
yourself. And then you can advertise
Chat.
it as you are doing X percent that's going towards
Yep.
whatever
Congo.
foundation of your choice for Congo, and the rest of it is going towards the foundation.
Right.
Then
Yep.
also on your page, if you got a link tree or stand store or whatever else, you put the link to directly donate to your foundation. It's a tax write-off. A lot of black folks don't
Yeah.
know that.
Right.
And it's at the end of the year. This is the time to market that. Tax write-off. You got a couple extra coins, $10, $20, $50, 75, 100.
Hmm.
Donate. Tax write-off.
Okay.
Yep.
She, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, y'all look in the chat and look how everybody's saying they buy a shirt, they donate money, they pay. So it's I think we mentally overthink things that we probably wouldn't do that other people would definitely do and support. But y'all, by the way, go check out my skin line. I make skincare. I make facial
What?
natural handmade facial
Wait a minute,
skincare.
wait a
I
minute,
didn't
wait a
know that.
minute. Go on mute, D. I am a customer of D's, okay? I am a chronic sufferer of eczema. She is one of the few products that I have been able to use since I've been having profound eczema flare-ups on my face, of all places, that I cannot get
Wow.
medication for. That she is healing my skin, okay? Healing my skin. I have the whole suite of products. If you need a personal recommendation, feel free to DM me, okay? I am the pusher for Skin X Co. Period.
Okay. I
Mm.
don't know how I didn't know that. I seen your face for the first time today, D. I didn't even know you had a face.
3 or 4 times.
What?
But
What? Oh
yeah,
my
no,
gosh.
that's crazy. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
support you.
No. One thing you could also do, King, is there's this it's this website that I've used from time to time. It's called Midjourney, and it's basically an AI website, and you can literally type in any description that you want, and it'll generate or create whatever it is that you're like essentially
Oh yeah,
trying to.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
about
So,
Midjourney on Discord, right?
oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've used that a couple times for some of the posts that I made. I've used that. Like I literally have like a whole folder of just images that like just attempting to shift the narrative and just using that to
Mhm.
yeah, just using that to kind of supplement the content and everything. And yeah, and I mean, since we all doing shameless plugs, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
if you donate to the Black Facts Matter Cash App, then all funds that are put into the Black Facts Matter Cash App, I immediately use for the next book giveaway. I don't have a lot of donators, but definitely
What's Black
any
Facts
dollar.
Matter? That's your book.
Yeah, no, what I do is I purchase essentially, like I try to do book giveaways, so I'll buy as many books in bulk as I can. Usually it only can be like about maybe like 5 or 6 books. But yeah, like anytime that I have enough money in the Cash App to be able to do it, and I use the funds directly just for doing book giveaways, and they're always pro black books. They're always books with black authors. They're always yeah, the books that elevate us and that educate us. And yeah, I usually try to send out like maybe a little writing journal and a pen and a highlighter along with it too.
Wow.
Yeah, just so that way we can.
Wow. That's
Yep.
it's wild to me how uh, brothers like yourself, crazy librarian. I don't know if she's still here, but it's wild to me how I kind of just started reading books. I was a music I'm a musician, so I'm an audible learner, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell me something, I'll never forget it, but reading it, and so I started reading books, and then making content. I've been like pushing myself, and so now it just comes kind of naturally to me. But it's wild how I've been able to attract my tribe, people that are also scholarly enough. You know what I'm saying? Like this, the goal of this live was not to turn into Maury. So, I've always been trying to like make it a scholarly place where we have some type of fact or book or resource behind what we're saying, and we're not just up here talking out of anecdote and our opinions. So, yeah,
Right.
that's it's dope. Yeah, yeah, that's another thing I was gonna do. So I may as well do that because I seen a video of a thin Libyan man who said one of the hacks he did for going viral was he would promote his friends' pages, like like as a referral. So
Mhm.
I'll do something like that. I'll make like a video saying like check out these people and like what they're doing. So I guess have your links on your pages, and I'll make that video sometime this week.
Definitely, King. Yeah, because whatchamacallit? Yeah, because I made mine as a post and I pinned it to the top of my page. So anybody who's trying to get to it real quick and just see it real quick, then yeah, I got the I have a PayPal link there. I got the Cash App link there. So if you don't have Cash App, you can use PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, you can use Cash App. And yeah, any dollar amount that's put towards, I mean, I have my own personal Cash App as well, but any dollar amount that's put towards Black Facts Matter, that Cash App I use immediately for.
Sending you 50 cents right now.
No, oh, I'm sorry, Queen. What was that?
I'm gonna send you 50 cents right now. Let me stop.
Hey, listen, listen, you'd be surprised that 50 cents might cover the tax. I mean, hey, please help me out.
I hear you. Well, that's cool. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep. I got work in the morning again. I'm in word of the month. I'm telling you, man. It's very nauseating. Like to know what we know about our people at this level. I'm sure, Timothy, if you reading those books, you talking about life gets a whole different meaning. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Oh
see
yeah.
it because you see it everywhere. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm T and D. I know y'all see it because y'all sisters. So some of us men, our third eye open up a little bit later after 30. But yeah, man. So
No,
I'm
you're 100% right, man.
And you know
100%.
who's the
They
employee of
trying
the
to get
month?
you to work harder. That's why they make you
Exactly.
employee of the month.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. That's what right. And I'm like, man, like I'm working for a company that owe me reparations. I'll be thinking that almost every time I clock in. I'm like, wait, y'all owe me reparations because they literally, it's an insurance company that literally like bought bought another company that actually like owned slaves, like contractually insured our ancestors. And the insurance of our enslaved ancestors is the reason they were treated less humane. You know that, right? Like, because they didn't need to keep them alive for nothing.
Wow.
Like, now, if something happened to them, oops, all right, pay me. Yeah, I'll go get 5 more with the payment. So, like,
Isn't that what they did with the dumb ships that came after slavery was outlawed? Like they intentionally unalived all the enslaved people on the ship because they knew they were gonna get in trouble if the ship like docked, and then they got the insurance payments for all the unalived
yeah,
black people. They filed
yeah,
insurance claims
yeah,
after
I
they
heard that too.
unalived them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they would feed our ancestors the sharks and say that they didn't make the voyage.
So
Um,
Mhm. Yep. Shark patterns
yeah,
still follow those same shipping lanes
pattern
to this day
right.
because of
slave
it.
trade.
So,
Yep.
yeah. Like they yeah, like they knew that insurance companies would only cover certain unalivings or certain types of unalivings. So what they would do is they would deliberately throw ancestors overboard because they knew that drowning was covered by the insurance policy.
Yeah.
So like these were fully funded, fully insured, fully backed financially, fully supported. And that's why it's like, all right, yes, it definitely was the European slave trade. And even though there was like very small pockets of people of African ancestry that participated, in the vast majority of the cases, average everyday people, they didn't want nothing to do with that crap. They knew how brutal it was. They saw right from where they were living. Like they didn't want to engage in that. And that's why they would migrate more so to the internal parts of Africa to escape all that nonsense. But like it's, yeah, like New York life insurance. Yeah, at one point in time I applied for working with them. I decided against it because they restrict who it is that you can work for outside of them. But once I found out more details about how New York life insurance used to literally insure slave ships and insure enslaved Africans, I was just like, oh yeah, hell no. Like why would I? No.
Yeah. I mean, and for me, for me, it's literally they bought a company that was like up for sale that directly worked with the slave, like enslaved ancestors. Like they not worked with them, but had contracts on them, and they bought it like recently. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you literally took blood money, like, you know what I'm saying, like literally. And like, so I don't know, this is what I be going through in my head. This is why I'm telling y'all it's very temporary, but I appreciate y'all's advice. And I'm gonna start to take this a little bit more seriously, as far as because what I'm trying to build is very important to me. So
Just
yeah.
remember, brother, it takes money to build it. And there's no shame in elevation based on support. And I think that one of the things about a lot of brothers is that ego. Put the Cash App on all your posts. And if they want to support, they will. And the thing about it is, it's not about where you're sitting or how you're sitting, it's how you're utilizing it to build what you need to build. If you, let's say tomorrow, God forbid, you didn't have your job. If you still have this platform, you need to be utilizing it on every angle that you can to not only support your family, but the initiative in which you're going. And I think I say this, and it might sound stupid to some people, and it might sound like I'm being capitalist, but everyone has to figure out a way to feed their family, particularly when you are Black. And I think if you're taking the time to educate yourself to feed your family, to feed these people, you need to also understand that that deserves a form of payment. Like it does. And I want to say this. Hold on. Somebody said something that it kind of, gosh darn it, it kind of rang a bell. Oh, right now, the part you play in the like the jobs or the roles. It's so funny when people talk about slavery. They say, well, Black people sold Black people. I love when they do that, because it's almost like they don't realize that I don't care who or what sold Black people into slavery. They did not understand the treatment or the mistreatment that Black people were being put into, nor did they do those services. So it's this idea that you want to correlate, because I'm out here working, and I work for myself, just saying, but if you're out here working to build and pay, that you're playing a part in this system, that guess what? I didn't build this system, and I'm still not reaping the biggest level of benefits from this system. I'm trying to survive it to make sure that my kids have something.
Right. And hopefully it makes sure some of all of our kids can have something. That's what be one initiative. That's what we doing. We doing stuff for the next generation to have this knowledge a little bit easier. And the reason that's my goal too is because I'm going to teach my children with the tools that I'm creating. So I'm homeschooling my child. As you know, me and my wife, we working on that, and we want to homeschool our child. So basically, I'm making tools where I'll be able to teach my child, but then I'll also be able to share that resource with other brothers and sisters, so we can get our kids about their schools. That's really, so it's all focused around what I'm doing in my personal life. Even reading these books and all this knowledge, it's all focused on what I'm doing. Things I would do for free, I'm just sharing them with everybody else. But appreciate you, D. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Thank you, Tia and Timothy. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. I'll be on a little bit earlier.
Y'all
And
know
we
my
appreciate
routines.
that.
Y'all make sure y'all hop in that tub before you hop in Black business.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Alicia. Thanks for modding. All right, y'all. And me, myself, and I, thanks for the gifts. Stella, thank you. Everybody. Who else? Lovely Rose Pels might have been here. All right, y'all. I'm out.